forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be sure to select all so that you can receive notifications every time we go live and upload to the channel.
Hey, peace and love. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I decided to go live Monday Madness. You know how we do it. I also got a upload coming up. Remember the stream we did on Umar Johnson? I edited it and I'm gonna be uploading it on this channel at I think it'll come on here like 4 p.m. 4 p.m. it should upload. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. So today's topic, therapy sessions versus religious confessions. We live in a time where I never seen, hold on, let me change this. Hold on. Let me show you, let me do something. Let me do something. Okay. We live in a world. Now I want to point something. I'm gonna hop right into what I got, man. And let me fix this chat. That ain't right. Anybody want to join me? Any brothers from the chat want to join? I don't want to shrink myself. If anything, I think I'm gonna actually mess with my chat room. Hold on. I know y'all can't see the chat, and I'm trying to see what's going on. Hold up. There we go. Let's move this over some. Hold on, y'all. Hold up, y'all. My bad. My bad. All right. Let's do that. Oh. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that. There you go. All right, so anybody want to join today? Y'all can. I'm still tweaking the scene and shit. Okay. That's good enough. Yeah. Guys, we live in a time where black men in America think that we the most. Black men say every man like to be like us. Black men like to say we the most carpet off man in the world. Black men like to pride themselves in their masculinity. Black men are very egotistical. I know because I'm a black man, nigga. And I got hella ego. But let me talk about that. Check it out, y'all. And I'm going to drop the link for y'all in a second, man. I'm just opening us up. Well, here go the link. I'm opening it up. Check it out, right? I'm going to bust a lot of niggas' bubble. Because we in a time where every time you turn around, it's some nigga talking about therapy. Every time that I turn around, I hear some black man saying, see, that's why brothers need therapy, man. I always hear some nigga promote therapy. And I wasn't never against therapy, but now that I see how niggas promoting it, I'm against it now. I'm against it now. I see the agenda, and I won't smoke today. If you're for therapy, then come up and debate with respect. We're gonna do it professionally, and I'm gonna show you my beef with therapy today. Show you my beef with therapy, but first let me get headphones. If you're joining, salutes to you. Stay muted for a second because I'm not done setting the stage for us, man. I need a mic check from everybody that just joined. Salutes to you. Free navigation. Let me get a mic check.
Yo, peace, peace. Check 1 2.
Peace, my brother. Thank you for joining. To this other guy, Fresh Faliver, whatever your name is, you gonna have to give me a mic check in like 10 seconds or I'm gonna you know what? Fuck that. I'm taking you off. I ain't taking no chances, man. If you don't join with your audio and mic ready, man, I ain't taking no chances. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Play too much. Oh, excuse me. Give a nigga a chance real quick. All these Negroes join and they mic ready to go, except for this dude. I'm taking you off. Never saw your name before, son. Now, let me say this real quick. Black men can't be talking about we alpha males. Every man in the world want to be like the black man. You know, if you a black man and you on this call right now, have I said something wrong yet? Ain't black men, us black men, we think this is how we talk. We pride ourselves above all the other men, though, don't we though? Am I lying? Am I cooning?
Nah, you right. You right.
And my
That's what we're
thing,
taught. We're
yeah,
taught that from our elders.
a fresh flavor. I'm gonna drop you the link again. Salutes to Fresh Flavor. I see you in the chat room. Now I know you ain't a troll. You good? You could join. Yeah. So let me show you something, man. Niggas can't be saying all that and also talking about, man, black men, we need therapy. We suffer from PTSD. We can't keep our women under control. The white man got his foot on our neck. Yo, how we gonna say all that stuff, but then turn around and say everybody in the world wanna be like the black man? We got swagger. We got this. We got that. No, you can't say them both. You can't say them both. And my beef with therapy is a lot of niggas just want a white man to talk to. I ain't gonna lie. Cause think about it. These niggas will cuss you out. They'll cuss they woman out. They'll pull up with the stick and all that. A lot of these niggas that promote therapy, look at Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God promote therapy, and everybody knows his criminal history. Lesser charge. I'm just saying that What I'm trying to say is that a lot of niggas that's promoting therapy, they don't know how to talk to brothers for real. Disrespectful, egotistical. Like, you'll go to a lot of these red pill spaces, and goddamn it, niggas will be promoting therapy, but talking shit about women. They'll be saying how a woman need to shut up, know her place. Like, a man don't really like to talk that much, so give me sex, sandwich, and silence. These niggas will be so militant and full of theyself when it come to the women. Then they'll turn around and be like, us black men need therapy, man. We got PTSD. If you got PTSD and need therapy and you treat your woman like that, what the fuck you think she need? My thing be like, you can't be this alpha male dominant nigga in the house and, baby, my food ready? All right, I'm on my way to therapy. You can't be that guy. Cause what this is like, you got all of this energy for everybody else, but you can sit down in front of a white man and spill your guts and cry on his shoulder. And you know, man, these hoes be tripping. I had to slap my girl the other day once again. That's what they telling the white man. Yeah, she talk too much. Like, how y'all got them both? Am I making this up? Am I spot on? Look at this shirt right here, y'all. Black men go to therapy too. Black men just trying to be like the white man. Cause niggas ain't been going to no therapy. White men always had them a therapist. They call it a shrink doctor. That's the white man shit. Let me share some with y'all real quick. Niggas wanna be white so bad that they saw a lot of these images. They saw a lot of this, y'all. Let me share with my people over here. I got to show you this. See, niggas saw a lot of this, y'all. They saw a lot of this right here. And they said, man, we ain't white enough. And then Auntie said, what you mean, boy, we ain't white enough? And that nigga said, yeah, man, white men go to therapists. I need to get me a therapist, you know. It ain't that the nigga thought he was crazy or that he needed mental help. A nigga trying to keep up with the Joneses. This my smoke for black niggas. Every nigga got a therapist today. And it's like it's a fad for a nigga to have a shrink doctor. And my thing is, if you going to pay money to talk to a stranger, a shrink doctor, but you don't want to talk to your loved ones for free, you don't need therapy. You need an ass whooping. A lot of y'all niggas is crybabies. Ain't no nigga in the jungle got a therapist. Ain't no nigga in the Dogon tribe got a therapist. But the black man, the gangster rap nigga, the shoot 'em up bang bang, the fuck my emotions, right? He want the world to know black men go to therapy too. We don't just shoot and kill and say fuck emotions. No, we cry on white man's shoulder too, while we killing each other and selling dope and all that. Hey, we go to therapy too, nigga. We talk to shrink doctors too. This is a fad, nigga. Who the fuck gonna wear a corny shirt like this? Hey, I just want you to know, my nigga, black men go to therapy too, all right? Don't just act like it's only white men that's crazy as hell that need a shrink doctor, nigga. That lets you know you trying to be like the white man. Cause there was a time where if you talk to a shrink, niggas a joke on you. But I'm seeing niggas get more and more, goddamn it, westernized. Hey man, look at here, my therapist is black, melanin and mental health. Don't you know that a shirt like this proves that you done lost your mind? And don't you know once you accept a theory of melanin, we already know your mental health ain't right? My therapist is black, melanin, and mental health. I be goddamn. I be goddamn. If you're melanin right, your mind should be right according to y'all, right? I wouldn't dare wear this corny shirt. So let me make my point, man. You supporting therapy and mental health. All right, we know there's some people in this world that are, yeah, they genuinely are mental health victims. They need care. They need treatment. But a lot of y'all niggas is in the way, and you don't really need the shit. You just want to be part of the shrink trend, the shrink club. A lot of folks out there really crazy as hell. They need to see a shrink doctor. But some of you niggas, man, y'all just want to be part of the therapy club. And I see how you say it in your interviews and shit. I was listening to a nigga the other day who was like, yeah, they weren't even talking about therapy or mental health. And the niggas was like, yeah, man, so the other day when I was, talking to my therapist, I was like, and I'm like, it's cringe to me. Yeah, the other day when I was talking to my therapist, right? You talking all smart and sophisticated. A person would think you got everything together. Man, listen, maybe I'm tripping. But this therapy shit just seemed like, goddamn it, some sort of new trend among certain niggas. Not all of them. But also, like when you look at the confession shit, watch this. Like when you see,
Sanchez, can I add something?
yeah, let me just give them this and then I'm gonna fall back.
Okay.
I always compare therapy to this, and I'm gonna fall back, right? You see how niggas see when you in a church and you got a father, you don't need a therapist. See, after he talked to this dude, he got to go drop a envelope in the little box. Yeah, you know they don't, it ain't mandatory, but you will be looked at a certain way, like it's a courtesy. It's part of it. You don't just go and talk to the father in confession and not drop a seed. It's go hand in hand. But if you look at it, this is what therapy has become. It has become a new religion where you go talk to a stranger. He's part of a religious organization because these folks don't know shit. They going to do nothing but prescribe you some medicine. This your drug dealer. Is all a trick, bro, a scam. And you know what I'm saying? But let me let that brother go. I'm just saying, bro, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same exact thing. You took the words right out of my mouth. I just had to wait a little bit. You right, but yeah, that's all they do. They prescribe you some medicine. You know, um, more of the quick fix method, the Band-Aid method, and it's just a way how to keep you dependent on them. You know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's their way of trapping, pretty much.
Oh yeah, most
It's they
definitely.
trap. But we gotta. That's why we have to rebrand our trap as uh Black Americans. You know what I mean? And reestablish ourselves and put more checks and balances within our own traps across the whole country. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, that's all they do. They prescribe you the medicine. Now, for some people, they do need it. You know what I mean? Like they seen people die in front of them, get blown up in front of them, stuff like that. House burns down. Things like that. You know what I mean? They need they need therapy. They need somebody to speak to. You know what I'm saying? rape victims, stuff like that.
And this right here, man, I gotta roast this shit. This shit says, I believe this dude wrote a book for black men in therapy. I think that's him. But I gotta roast this. Bro. Hey, y'all mute up, man. Please.
My bad, bro.
Yeah. So look, guys, I got to roast this because it's fucking what's the word? Hypocrisy. Strength don't need no support, dog. This dude lying to you, and look at his motherfucking hair. Who the fuck is this? This nigga look like he just walked off of an Old Spice commercial, and that when he opened up his mouth, he's gonna say, behold. Behold, thou art strong, but thou still needest supporteth. Then when you try to talk, that nigga gonna touch your lips and say, shh, for I am the Lord thy God, speaketh not. Don't he look like it? He look like a big Barry White, deep baritone voice motherfucker that's just gonna behold. See, you are a nigga that spend about 30 minutes brushing your beard, son. And I'm gonna tell you something, son. A nigga that thinks strength still needs support is a damn fool, son. Because if we got weak people among us, they the ones need the support, and they need the support from the strong. We don't need our strong out here crying and want to go to therapists. And you supposed to be our strong ones. Who gonna be strong for mama and the babies and the children and the weak? If our strong people still need a motherfucker to lean on and a damn crutch and a damn... Well, stop saying you strong, man. You see what I just said earlier? I said it's hypocritical for black men to say how strong and melanated and we got the most dominant genes and all this shit. We the most gangster. All this shit. But man, we need to go see a shrink doctor, man. I need a shoulder to cry on. See, how do you combat that hypocrisy? With a statement like this, hey man, strength still needs support. No, it don't. I know some white boys that'll go out in a blaze of glory dolo. Nigga, I served in the military with some crazy ass white boys. I saw some white boy Marines who was so strong, nigga. And I ain't just talking physically. I'm talking mentally. When it was time to go to war, them niggas wasn't breaking down and crying and shit. They was saying, fuck yeah, woo! Them niggas will say that before they parachute out of an airplane. Fuck yeah, and jump out the back of a fucking airplane, nigga, with a parachute on. They got a sense of independent to them. That this sense of, you know what I'm saying? It's a sort of strength that literally don't need no fucking support. I saw this with my eyes, dog. Now, guess what's crazy? They got support, but they don't need that shit because they strong, nigga. They can stand on their own. I saw it before. Am I exaggerating or do y'all know what I'm talking about too? I'm just
You exaggerating, man.
All right, all right, cool. I got beef with this statement. Now, to the brothers that says that I'm exaggerating, school me on something, man. Correct your brother.
All right, I'm gonna jump in, bro. What's good, bro? Sanchez, man. Shout out, salutes to you.
Salutes,
you the homie.
salutes, my brothers.
All right, so like I'm trying to figure out, like he said, you think it's just a statement. I can feel you on saying that with the statement, like it's redundant. The statement is retarded. Like strength still needs support. That's stupid. That's a hypocrisy. But there are certain people out here, when it comes to the counseling period, it's beneficial in some ways for people. And I'm speaking on behalf of myself. And that's because you got family members sometimes who's going to give you the same perspective, that anybody else would probably give thinking logically. You know what I'm saying? But then when you get in a, I guess, in a shrinks environment, when you talk to somebody like a therapist, they give you a perspective that you ain't thought about or that you ain't used to, because you really getting what you come from when you go and ask your family members, or like most people don't want to ask another black person something. They feel like they just getting what they regurgitate. But with a counselor, therapist, psychiatrist, whatever, it's like they give you conversation that you can build off of, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that from off experience. What these other cats talking about, I don't know, I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying for me.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between counsel and the therapy system today. You know what I mean? Therapy system today is mixed in with the pharmacy, and that's the problem, you know. But the counsel, you know, even kings, every king has a counsel, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's not somebody you cry to, you know what I mean? You don't cry on the shoulder to them.
I mean, help me understand the difference. I didn't know there was a difference between a counselor and a therapist. What's the difference?
So somebody you consoling, you know what I mean? And therapists, they reprogram you.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. I understand that.
You know?
So a counselor is somebody like more so listens.
Yeah, somebody who listens and somebody who understands. A therapist don't understand how what it is to be black. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
A quick question for y'all. Have you ever been to a therapist?
I haven't been to a therapist at all.
No, I don't think I have neither. I think I've been to
I've been to a counselor
psychiatrist
before.
Okay, because you're talking like as if you've done it before. So I just want to say that a counselor and a therapist are pretty much the same exact thing. They do the same exact thing. They don't reprogram you. They listen to you and try to get you to get to the root of your own problem. That's what they do.
I got an important question. Do a counselor do prescriptions, prescribe you a medication?
Not that I've known.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So a psychiatrist just prescribes medication and counselors and therapists don't?
Okay, so therapists don't prescribe meds either?
From what somebody I know who has a therapist got prescribed medicine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because my theory is, okay, so do a therapist prescribe meds in the chat room, yes or no? Because a therapist may not prescribe meds, but I'm sure they got a viable suggestion where they can suggest you a med and a doctor say, well, have you seen a therapist first? Did the therapist recommend it? And do the doctors have those kind of conversations, or is just something solely on when you go see specifically a psychiatrist or a psychologist?
I thought it was a psychiatrist or a psychologist. When you go see them specifically, then they, you know, because I've seen that too. I've seen them too. But I really can't tell the difference, honestly, man. If you ask me, they're all on the same team.
Now look, because a lot of folks gonna crucify me for shooting down therapy, but I'm just saying, just hear me out for 1 minute, right? The shrink is like the new father, man. You know what I'm saying? The shrink is like the new father. And when you ain't got fathers in the household, think about what most therapists are men. Like, think about this, what I'm about to say. Most school teachers are women in America, and most therapists are men. What does that tell y'all? The role of a therapist is similar to the role of a pastor or the father in the Vatican and shit. You feel me? So this field is dominated by men like pastors, bishop, you know, just like that's dominated by males solely. So I'm peeping the trend, like it's almost like we using a hopeless religious approach with medications to combat mental issues that stem from environmental stress factors. And if these
And
stress factors are environmental, then the therapists and all that and the counselors are like it ain't no preventive approach, even though they're trying to make it seem, yeah.
I see what you're saying though, and it's based off the history of the anarchy, how they been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was show proof that what we're living under as far as the orchestration was beneficial, then yeah, therapy would be something that we can say we can aid to count on. But seeing how we've been treated and misled, manipulated, shit like that, yes, I completely understand what you're saying now when it comes to it. But I still stand on my point. For me personally, it helps me reprogram myself. I take certain things from what they gave, and I reprogram myself to to a higher living.
Now explain to the people out there, go into detail on how it helps you do that.
All right, so for instance, there's a lot of things that I couldn't say to my family members or another black person that I could say to a therapist. In the guidelines, of course, you can't say no crazy shit like I want to kill somebody or
Now
kill
wait a
myself
minute.
because
Is your
they locking
therapist
you up.
is your therapist black or white?
Well, my last one was black.
Okay. It don't matter. I just want to know. But go ahead, you got it.
Okay, but fact is that there were certain things that I would talk about and I could express freely without feeling judgment or ridicule because it was a stranger to me, opposed to it being a family member who I knew was going to criticize me based off who they've seen in the past or who they used to seeing, opposed to who I am in that moment and what I'm going through. And so it's easier, to me, it was easier for me to let it go to somebody who wouldn't cast no bullshit, no judgment on what I'm going through. And they understood, they took it in. And when they regurgitated what they had, I took parts of it and applied it to my life. Certain things, they use analogies that really helped me. So, that's how it helped for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't speak for everybody else though.
Now, the point that I want to make to the chat room is most of us brothers who seek therapy, you gotta ask, why do a brother seeks therapy? Because he has some traumas going on that come from our environment, our toxic environment, toxic people in our families, maybe toxic upbringers, and all of us do. We got mental issues, right? But what I see going on a worldwide level, brothers, hear me out. Here's my smoke. The powers that be are throwing therapy at the world and medications because they are constantly making environments more and more toxic. And if toxic environments is the source that leads to humans needing therapy, we can see that the more toxic our environment get, there's a boom in motherfuckers seeking out therapy. We're seeking out some sort of drug to escape these toxic situations, this harsh reality. You gotta understand what I said earlier. There's people in the jungle with no shoes on their feet, and they don't need a therapy. They smile so much, and we over here with all our technology, and we need therapy, Xanax, all these mental pills, and fucking church, the temples, and we don't really put the two together. Like, we ain't really got it under control like that. Like,
Hey, but that's why though, bro. If bro, not mean to cut you off, but that's the reason for the people in the jungle that are they living great because they're living off of the natural resources. The fact that we technologized and what I'm saying, technocracy, all this bullshit we got, man, that's fucking us up. I mean, tremendously. That's a huge part of the reason why they introduced or implicated the whole health and the medicine part of it. You know what I'm saying? So if we was over there, I'm pretty sure we'd be living great. But you know what I mean?
That's a fact, Sanchez, and you're right, man. But you got to think about that. Like, think about the urban communities, man. You got a lot of like broken homes, a lot of shit that's going on that stem back from like what the 80s and 90s when dudes wasn't even seeking mental health, right? So you got dudes growing up without fathers, the little drill rappers, all that shit. Think about if we had this mental health conversation about 20, 30 years ago. Whereas we as black people would be at today, right? And that's all I'm saying. You got the crack cocaine in the community. All that shit is real, right? And let me give you an example. I got one of my good friends, right? He got a relationship with a female, right? He thinking that he's cool, everything is straight, but he didn't realize all his flaws until he got in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That he realized, I'm drinking too much. I'm doing this, right? Then he think about his father was doing the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? But his father didn't seek no help. So what his father ended up doing? Breaking up his family, ended up getting shot or killed in DC somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that rolled down to him. So now he going through the same exact shit. He's trying to figure out, well, what's really my problem? And what he ended up doing? Seeking mental health. Now he's in a healthy relationship, married, taking care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think this conversation is long overdue for the black community, but for the rest of the world, that's a whole other conversation.
And I know, see, there's a lot of niggas out there who want black folks to know that they crazy, that they'll bust your head, but they also want you to know they go to a therapist. And I've been trying to blend the two because I've seen this. I've seen guys doing both. And I ain't trying to reach. A lot of folks say I'm exaggerating. They need to, hey, look, I'm just saying. Everybody's promoting therapy versus promoting stopping the damn problems that need to a nigga needing a therapist and shit. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's a certain type of people pushing a certain type of agenda is promoting that. You know what I mean? Like Charlemagne, the God, you know what I mean? He's a big liberal.
and then just think about it. See, we don't really peep how our environment lead to subconscious stress factors, conscious stress factors. Look, I watched the documentary on Netflix, right? It was talking about Facebook, social media in the age of teenagers, and just how it was basically going into how social media made humans evolve socially, how the social media sites changed the way we interact, and they promised that it would be for the best, but it turned out for the worst. They was doing surveys showing that teenagers who was born during the age of MySpace, they had a spike in suicides, stress factors, depressants, violence, and all that. We just talking MySpace. Y'all know how long ago MySpace was? And look, this research showed that they followed this society from these early social media sites all the way up to date of Facebook, and what they find is alarming. That the more advanced the social media sites got, the more degraded our society became, even though these sites promise to enhance our social experiments and connect us and unite us. They ended up having us pull up on each other, drop your addy, niggas killing each other on a live screen. While it is horrible. And what they found out is that when a teenage girl put a post out there of her picture and it don't get her certain likes, it lead to stress factors that an ancient human in like back in the day, let's say in pre-dynastic time, never could fathom. They were saying how the internet introduced new stresses to the body that don't, these kind of stresses would be equivalent to if you were still living in the jungle and you came across a damn grizzly bear trying to eat you or something. Like the kind of stress that you would activate right there. Now, that ain't every day that a bear trying to eat you in the jungle. It ain't every day that you face on a cliff's edge living in the jungle. So you ain't activating that kind of stress every fucking minute. Man, when you go online, the kind of stress that you would activate in a life or death situation in a jungle, you activate that because a nigga said something wrong on your post. You activate that every 30 minutes, every hour that you go and visit your ops page and they go against your shit. You're activating these, bro, they did a survey on this. That's why I had to change the way I move a lot. This social media shit will kill you. And it ain't that somebody gotta shoot you, nigga. You'll have a heart attack on here. They done research on this, that teenagers are just killing themselves because, man, just say somebody put a post out there and put you on blast. That shit go viral. 100,000 people in your county that's teenagers in your peer group. You the damn butt of the joke. These folks killing themselves. Man, you couldn't listen. This stuff, you gotta go and think if you was born during the Facebook generation. Your mind will be totally different, man. We didn't come up like that. See, we can't tap into that shit. Bro, you didn't grow up using emoticons to smile for you, to frown for you. You can only imagine what the mind of these kids is like, bro. They are savage, real talk. The demon time is real, bro. Like, and so all of this stuff is leading to therapy because of how social media have transformed us and stolen our humanity. Goddamn, our environments look like zoos and prison yards. This is all psychological and social engineering. You can't just throw therapy at it. Guess what? We got to change the conditions that's leading to these mental issues. And I'm going to keep repeating that, and I'm going to fall back right there.
Hey, Sanchez, look, when you got a strong family structure inside of your house, you can protect all that shit from happening, prevent all that from happening. Just by you being a father and a mother, and you're monitoring your kids, you're running your household in a very productive way, right? Now, the reason why that shit does happen, and I think you're looking at it different than I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that if that therapy comes in, and we have more two-parent households, then you will have less kids worried about social media and let their kids listen to their parents and living a life where their parents conducted them in that way, right? And that's why I'm looking at it, that we need therapy because a lot of these kids that are doing that, they don't have that structure in their house. They really spend all their time on social media. They don't have their parents telling them to do anything, what to do, how to do it, where to do it, right? They're not being molded into becoming productive young adults. They're being molded by the social media. So, and I'm speaking from the Black community only. That's it. I can't speak to nobody else, right? In the Black community, we don't have a lot of two-parent households. That's where it's coming from. With the mental health being coming to the forefront of our conversation, that can change. That can change because a lot of men, a lot of women, they'll go and figure out, hey, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I can sit down with my husband and figure out, okay, why are we not together? Why can't we work this thing out? And then that can be reversed where you're looking at it from a different point of view, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Hey, real quick, mic check.
Good, you're good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Hello? Yeah, we need counseling because we don't know what self-discipline is. If we know how to self-discipline and control our emotions, we wouldn't need counseling. But niggas don't know what self-discipline is, and that's why we seek counseling. We don't know how to, basically get in tune with our inner self because we in tune with a fucking higher power or a God or a creator. We need counseling because we give somebody else all our power instead of going down deep down inside and learning about yourself and learning about your body and your mind. That's why niggas need counseling because they don't know what self-discipline is. And I'm going to land right there.
Bro,
Black
Leo,
motherfucking power.
Hey, Leo, where do you learn discipline at, Leo? Leo, where do you learn discipline at?
In the household.
And that's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Everyday living, I learned discipline, my brother. I didn't just learn it in the military. I learned it from my mother, my father, and self.
There you go, your mother and your father.
Y'all, all of y'all dropping jewels. Now I want everybody to check this out, right? I'm about to ask y'all a question. The question, you really need to think about it. Think about the question, right?
It's right here. I boiled water.
I'm going to ask y'all this question, man. Think about this joint, because some of y'all might answer wrong in the chat room. So here go the question. You know that a war environment will cause stress, mental health issues, and PTSD. If you live in a city in Baghdad and all you hear is do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do and bombs going off all your life, your mind ain't gonna be right. and you're gonna be suffering from PTSD. And when you take it out of that environment, you're gonna move like you walking on thin ice and shit. You're gonna always have this, I gotta watch my back mentality, even though it ain't that even wrong, and that's a fucked up way to be, because you're releasing stresses into the bloodstream for no reason. We don't know how to turn it on and off. Toxins in the body that shouldn't be released unless we in a life or death situation. But check this out. I got a question. If war is the cause of mental health war environments, because if you live in a Chirac, if you live in a hood, all the bad news you see on TV every day, all the shit happening, you're suffering from PTSD. And we basically all suffer from PTSD, and they throwing therapy at it. But here's my question though, for those who say they for therapy. If war is the cause of PTSD, and we see that there's more and more war happening in the world, do we need more therapy or do we need less war? I'm gonna say that again. If war is the cause of PTSD and PTSD is treated with therapy, should we solve this riddle by coming with more therapy or less war?
Hey, bro, Sanchez.
Question.
What's going on, my brother?
What's good, Alkaline? They gonna let them answer this question real quick. More
I
therapy or less war?
Let me answer real quick. Sanchez, as an individual, you only can control what you can control. I agree with you, need to be less war, but as an individual, you have to control yourself, right? You know what I'm saying? So as an individual person, I would say seek therapy. But if we could control,
now let me
if we could
respond
control
to
the
you.
whole, I would say less war. Yeah.
Let me respond to you, right? If you raising a child in Chirac, for example, salutes K-Dub. Let's say you raising a child, salutes to the sister, man. Let's say you raising a child in Chirac. Don't you know therapy ain't cheap? The kind of money you gonna spend for therapy, don't you know it'll be better just to move your child to the suburbs of Chirac to where there's less fucking violence and shit? See, children that's living in a less stressful environment have less mental health issues. You're going to spend more on mental health medications and prescriptions and shrink doctors in your adulthood than if your parents would have just raised you in a better environment. So we can't keep repeating the situation of, well, I'm raised in the hood, nigga, but yeah, I see a therapist. How about you get the fuck out the hood and then that'll change your goddamn mindset and your future generation's mindset? How about you deal with your environmental factors for a change? That's what I'm saying.
Bro, that's so true, bro. Hey, it's a known fact that our environment is the sheer reflection of the reason why we feel the way we feel. Like genes transform because of the environment that they're in. So with ourselves and us being who we are, yes, that's exactly how it go, bro. Like if you don't take yourself out of the environment, you'll find yourself a part of it at all times.
Yeah, I agree with you,
And
Sanchez.
let me
I
add
agree.
that environmental is very important. That's a part of my studies, environmental sciences. So you think that when they're constructing social engineering, all of this stuff, you think they're not looking at the environment as well? So yes, we need people just as well as we need people in counseling and going to school for therapy and stuff like that to administer therapy and counseling. We need people in environmental sciences so we can see the effects, not just the soil and all of that. They go deep into environmental sciences and knowing how the environment affects the person, whatever environment that person is in. But that's all I wanted to add.
All right, let me cut in for it. Oh, you can go ahead,
I would
sister. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think the initial response that everyone wants to jump at Sanchez, and thank you, Sanchez, for having this discussion topic, and good afternoon. I think people immediately want to assume that he's against therapy and in the Black community, and I don't think that's really his argument. I think, of course, we know the Black community needs therapy. I think his argument is the distraction that therapy brings when it comes to having a spiritual connection with yourself and your God or your inner self. I think that's what he's trying to say. I'm not sure. I think it's going over people's head. I think that's like a surface level rebuttal, is to say, of course, yeah, we need therapy. Yeah, we the Black community. Yeah, we know we need therapy. We've been through all these trials and tribulations. Therapy. And yes, we do need therapy. And I think everybody knows that. I think there's a deeper explanation he's trying to, bring to everyone, which is the detriment that therapy can have. Yes, therapy has amazing benefits. I think what Sanchez is saying is it can deter you and derail you from going to church. And I know a counter argument to that would be, I think
one
counter
thing
argument
real quick. Salutes to you, my sister. Let me interject quickly. And another thing, what I really want to drive home, what I'm trying to say overall more than anything is they're treating therapy like the preventive solution when it's just the opposite. It's like the police coming because crimes are being committed, but we ain't going to stop creating criminals and giving birth to criminals. We just need to hire more police. That's, you know what I'm saying? Hire more therapists instead of clean up these environments that create mentally torn people.
Hey, bro, wait, hold on for a second.
Let me interject. Let me interject here, and y'all can have it. The Catholic Church, this started all of this therapy, health, and human services. That's my degree. This all started from the Catholic Church. They started administering all this counseling and all of the Catholic Church did this.
I knew it because I was looking at that confession style, the way that the confession shit is set up, and I was just putting it together like this format, goddamn it, looks similar, and you just confirmed that shit. Here you go, Bob. I'm gonna drop it. Bobby, salute, Bob. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's Alkaline.
No, I was talking to Bobby in the chat. He asking for the link. You got it, Alkaline. Salutes, my brother. You got it.
Yeah, no, K-Dub is right. You know what I'm saying? All of this is brought forth through the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? It's all, Illuminati, bound, instruments that they've, subjected into our culture. But what I'm getting to is with the PTSD that you're talking about, right? PTSD is not something that comes from you being in the army. You know what I'm saying? PTSD is a form of when a person they have their brain cells when they are like suffering through damage from the acidity that they have in their body and stuff like that. They start to lose brain cells, and it starts to kill their brain cells. When you start to kill your brain cells, your neurons start to have relapses too, because now you're not electrifying your neurons, and now your neurons are not getting enough electricity to get enough energy to cycle new frames of mind. So that's what a person is doing. They're just losing a frame of mind, and it's post-traumatic because of some sort of psychological damage, something that you could have seen or done, or if you could have intaked into your body, or like Sister K Dub is saying, something from the environment like a chemtrail, or the aluminum oxides in the air. You know what I mean? All of this could have caused a cell deficiency in your brains, right?
But listen,
and then your neurons,
listen.
It caused go ahead.
Hold on, one little interjection. I think we you don't even gotta go that deep with it, cause look, think about it, right? The average cat, right? His mind is messed up because, like, would you agree of the environment that we grow up in and shit?
And environment that you grow up in,
because
look, also the food that they were brought up taking, like from their parents.
Well, let me explain something. Let me explain something, right? I know some black folks that grew up in the hood, but the hood didn't grow up in them because of the structure inside of their house, even though there was chaos outside, right? And they ate like a lot of bullshit. They ate hog maws, pork chops, pigtails, but they were sweet people and they were patient people and they treated you right. So look, I would say that they probably died quicker than they should have because they ate like crazy, but I don't think the food really had an effect on their morality other than the fact that yeah, you killing an animal, that ain't moral. But if
No,
you
no, no,
get what I'm
no.
saying,
So it's like this.
Think
Oh, hold on.
about our great grandparents. Our great grandparents down here in the South, they live to be 90 plus, and they don't eat no vegan, no alkaline. I mean, I understand, but just
No, it's
factor
not.
that in there.
It's not like that. You can live to be 1,000 years old, but if you're 1,000 years old and you're living on a life support system, and there's another person 1,000 years old and he's jogging every day and
My
doing
great
push-ups every day.
grandparents were. My great grandparents weren't on life support.
No, a lot, but I'm quite sure they probably had diabetes or they suffer from blindness or they
No,
had,
they did not. No,
listen,
they did not.
listen. See, this is what it is.
Yeah, Alkaline, you're a little off.
Now,
'Cause
no, hold on,
you
hold on.
off.
What I'm
Listen.
saying is,
My great
wait.
grandmother's 105 right now. She eat whatever she want, bro. So
No,
you kind
listen.
of off.
What I want to say is, it don't take away from like bro saying, like I'm not saying that this is what's causing PTSD. No, this is something that can cause a PTSD. Like there's so many different things. Like I said, a traumatic experience, seeing something, the intake of something, which I said it could be the environment. All of these things can cause PTSD. So let's get that clear. But what I'm saying, what causes the PTSD is the cell deficiency, is when the cells in the brain start to die. And when the cells in the brain start to die, they're not feeding off the neurons in the brain, and the neurons are not getting the full electricity, and then it loses certain parts of their neurons. It might be a neuron that holds memory, a neuron that makes you smarter. So this is what I'm saying.
so
This
look,
is
let
where
me show you
PTSD comes
something.
from.
Let me show you something. We develop our neural network the most during our childhood and teenage stages. After that, you pretty much locked in on your whole template of who you gonna be and shit. But the point that I'm making, because I'm not saying you wrong, I'm just saying something else. What I'm saying is, I believe a lot of what we become is what we tell ourselves who we are in our younger adult years when we looking for ourselves. Teenagers go through a lot of personality changes because they still trying to find that foundational template. And if you notice, they ain't modeling that shit off mama and daddy. They want to show their own independence by distinguishing who they are. And we all go through that shit. So my thing is, they
I'm
got
talking
this.
about PTSD itself.
I'm
just saying.
I'm not talking to you, brother. I was just building and passing around.
No,
But
no,
if
no.
you
I was
wasn't
just saying
done, you can go
PTSD
ahead
itself.
though.
No, I was just saying PTSD itself. I was just saying it's a neural deficiency. That's all I was getting at. Just trying to explain that when
Yeah.
people try to understand where it comes from, it's a neural deficiency.
Well-
They're losing. There's a part of their brain cells that are dying.
Let me
and
explain.
they're-
Let me explain something to you, brother. Soldiers in the military, and I served with a few of them. I've served with some soldiers that were vegans. Alkaline, don't take offense
No,
to
we're not
this.
talking about food. It has nothing to do with food.
Hold on. I know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you my explanation on why I think these people are victims of PTSD. You gave yours. Check me out. I'm bringing up food because you brought it up a minute ago, and I'm saying I know some vegans in the military because we more than what we put into our mouth, what you put into your eyes, your ears. When these people go to war and they see niggas' face get blowed off, when they see a little bitty baby blowed into little pieces, when they see guts on the ground, when they see the nigga that they was training with for the past 10 months, he get blowed up and it ain't even no remains of him. It's just little bitty, little fine, little bitty shards of him. when folks see this type shit, man, it fucks with them. And when they see it, when you over there on a war ground for a while, this shit become normal to you just walking. It never becomes normal. And I'm speaking from a person that never went, hearing stories. Now check this out. The thing is this, man. Everybody that goes to war don't come back the same in they fucking mind. I've met Marines who crazy as hell because of what they seen when they was in combat. When I go through the hood, when I see these crazy ass niggas that'll kill your ass in a minute, bro, I serve with a lot of soldiers like that, dude. It's some Marines like that to this day. Some of y'all daddy. You know what I'm talking about as a veteran Marine, and that nigga crazy. They know. Don't play with that nigga, man. That same mentality is what you see in the streets, bro. That's PTSD. That's a I ain't got time to fuck around mentality, man. I done saw niggas get shot. I done saw some traumatic shit. Don't play with me, bro. You don't know what the vision's in my brain. I project those on you. This is what I know about PTSD. When you get exposed to this kind of shit and you seen this kind of horror and some nigga in your face talking like he tough, and you know he ain't saw a nigga head get blowed off before. He ain't saw a nigga body blowed to smither, and you got something to prove. You got to show him in a physical way he ain't saw what you saw. Let me show you. This is a mentality, bro. Everywhere you see, bro. Listen.
Were you addressing me?
No. I'm speaking in general. What I'm saying is this right here. Everywhere we see where PTSD is prevalent at, it's in hoods that's shooting it up every day, killing every day. People trying to numb themselves to gory situations, and it creates this psycho effect called PTSD. The brain tries to normalize horror, and what it does is dehumanizes that person and actually make them what they just saw. A person, it turns them to a monster.
Can I say something? Can you hear me, Sanchez?
Yeah.
So check this out, right? I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening to the PTSD dude. I definitely understand your angle. So I served in Iraq, right? And before even serving in Iraq, I grew up on the south side of Houston, Texas. Traumatic, drama, niggas will kill you for your fucking swangers. It's a million ways to get killed in the hood, right? I'm just gonna put it like that. My decision coming out of school was to go play football, and then I acted a fool in college, and I decided to join the military. So first thing I want to say is, what I hear on your end, Sanchez, is cause and effect, and I believe in that shit. It ain't gonna be no PTSD. Something is causing the PTSD. I understand homeboy talking about the neural network and shit, but before the neural network is being broken down, it's something breaking the shit down. It ain't just breaking down on its own. Post-traumatic stress.
Hey, my brother, you didn't hear what I said. I said,
hey, don't take offense to the brother. He ain't disagreeing with you now. He just adding on.
No, he is
to
disagreeing
the
what I'm saying.
He adding
not
on.
that he's disagreeing. No, he didn't hear what I said.
He said no. He's saying that watch this. The brother saying that alkaline. You're right about the damaged neural activity, but what damaged it? We're going into what damaged it is what he's doing.
No, but that's what listen. No, he's saying because I've been through trauma, and what did I say causes it? I said it's trauma. I said it's what you intake.
Bro,
I said plus it's the environment. I said those three things.
Brother, now let this man say what. Now let him say what he want to say.
He's saying something that I already said.
But look, just let him build without interrupting him, bro. Regardless of what he's saying, man.
He discredited what I said. I said trauma.
Ain't nobody discrediting what you said, bro.
I tell you what, let him discredit it, and you can say what you want when he done. We gotta have order, man.
So again, this is somebody online that, again, I grew up in a rough situation, but adding all of this shit together, I grew up in a family of very good people. My family inside of my house was damn good. I had damn good parents. I made fucked up decisions on my own. I went against my parents' better advice in most situations. I was extremely rebellious. Found myself in bad situations. Moving forward, found myself in the military. I was acting the damn fool out in Iraq. Just acting the fool. My own personal decisions. I guess I could say I ended up with PTSD. I don't know. It really doesn't matter because at the end of the point, like Leo said earlier, I dug down inside of my fucking self. I saw what the problem was, and the problem wasn't the world. It wasn't everybody against D Black. It was, it can't be everybody else all the time. At some point, it's personal responsibility. So if we're not focused on cleaning up our own hoods or cleaning up whatever our own issues are, be it PTSD or be it whatever, it can't be the food. Because like the lady said earlier, shit, I'm from the deep South where all my grandparents ate was chitlins, hog maws, and shit, and they all lived to be a long age, and they went through the civil rights shit. That's post-traumatic. So it's like it's out there in the air. The reason I speak about it from the military standpoint, because like Sanchez said, I seen my partners get blew the fuck up. I've been blown up 3 times. I've been there. I've been shot in the hood. Been there. At the end of the day.
All right, let me rebuttal you, my brother.
He ain't finished, brother. And I don't think it's none of rebuttal, but he ain't gonna, but if Darryl want to rebuttal, want to go back and forth with you, he can. But let him finish first, Alkaline. Go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm just laying my plane.
Man, take your time, man.
Bro, I believe it's a great part of it is cause and effect, and it's personal responsibility, man. At some point, like I remember my granny telling me a long time ago. She was like, "Baby, look, everybody get older, but everybody don't grow the fuck up. Everybody get old, but everybody don't grow up. Just you got to get up out your shit. Once it's a self again shit that I did learn in the military of situational awareness." Be aware of what you're doing, where you at, what's going on, and move accordingly. If you living in Chirac, it's fucked up around there. Like Sanchez said, move, bro. Move. Nobody's keeping you nowhere. Move away from that which is fucking destroying you, which is destroying us. Because if not, then it ain't nothing to complain about. I'm not going personally, I don't believe in a therapist because I don't need to go talk to anyone to heal me. I find it inside of myself. I know what's wrong with me. The thing I do is I don't talk to anyone in particular. I try to talk to a lot of people. I socialize with people, and I hold no biases towards myself or those that I socialize with. I keep it all open, and I keep all things in mind. I keep it all on the table, and I'm honest with people. That's another issue why we fucked up. Niggas not honest. Just be honest about a lot of shit that's going on, whether it's going on with you or whether it's going on with the situations you're surrounded by, the situations you're involved in. That's it. It's accountability. Be responsible.
You know what,
be accountable.
As simple as that sound when you say be honest, that's exactly what a nigga do when he goes see that therapist. He be honest. He tell them stuff that he was holding in. He do that in the Catholic Church when the sister said at KW about what I was showing you about the Vatican shit too. You go in there, confess, be honest, and guess what? They walk out feeling relieved and shit. Whoo, got it off my chest. I'm feeling better.
But that same nigga a lot to his family, and he a lot to his mama or hold back from his family.
Yes, man. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, right.
And I'll say something about the lie part, and it's still that salute to everybody, man. What's up, family?
What's good, Bobby? What's good, bro?
Yeah, what's good?
My nigga.
Now, in a perfect world, right? Like in a situation where when we grew up, the therapist was Big Mama or Granny. That's who you can go talk to about your problems, right? But why that changed, a big reason why that changed, and we got to be honest as so-called Black people, is because secret or information stopped becoming secret. So the therapist is bound by a contract to keep your secret. The reason why niggas stop, conversing amongst each other, because motherfuckers will use that information and manipulate against you. You old molested ass nigga. You old beat up ass. You let your husband abuse you. You let motherfuckers jip you out of money. So it's kind of like motherfuckers get timid. Even within the family, you get timid to release certain information or go through that therapy process naturally with your people because the information being used against you like a court of law. But with the therapist, or the motherfucking priest, they bound by a contract. You know, however bogus it is, they can't give your secret up, or you could sue them. It'll be some money got to get exchanged. You know, and I'm gonna just, you know, what y'all think about that?
HIPAA, and that's you're absolutely right, Bobby. We, as health professionals, we're held by disclosures. We cannot say certain things. Even to the police, the FBI, if they come questioning us and asking us anything, nope, can't tell you nothing. So yes, we're bound by that.
Now listen, go ahead, KW, if you still talking.
No, I think I'm done.
Okay, so now going back to what Bobby's saying and addressing what the other guy was saying.
Daryl, you need to mute
Somebody
your
had
mic.
some background noise that's like it's gone.
Yeah, somebody's
now.
blowing wind. Yeah, so going back to what Bobby's saying and what the other guy was saying too, and I'm not going against the other brother. Everything he was saying is correct, you know, when it comes to the trauma part of it, you know. But like I said, I said there was a trauma part. I said there was an intake part of the eating part. I said there was an environment part. All of this, you know, has to do with you losing brain cells and your brain cells dying and you having a brain cell deficiency and it causing a neurological disorder, which is what PTSD is. And that's what I was trying to explain. It wasn't nothing bigger than that. But when the guy, he said, oh, but my grandmother, she ate chitlins for all these years and blah, blah, she lived all these. You can't tell me, listen, when you start going into you eating and food now, I didn't speak about that and then the diet. But when you start talking about eating meat and promoting it like it's healthy, first of all, if you know what meat is something called uric acid. Uric acid. Hold on, no, before you cut me off. Wait, before you cut me off.
I understand.
Why you cutting me off? Listen.
No,
don't cut me off, please.
Hey, real
I'm gonna
quick,
give you the floor.
they processed their own foods back then. That's why it was healthier.
No, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second.
That's all I wanted to say.
Meat
Alkaline,
causes something.
Please
Listen,
don't flip this
we not
into a
talking about
Dr.
You're not cutting me off.
Diet. Please, can we talk about keep it on therapy, man?
No,
please.
but we're going to keep it on therapy, but I'm going to explain this because you're not going to get away with talking about meat is good and healthy and blah, blah, blah. You can live for 1,000 years.
It doesn't go like that. At the end of the day, people are going to eat what they want to eat, so it doesn't matter.
I'm still going to explain to you.
Let me say this, Alkaline. I want to say this to just address it.
Nah, you ain't got to. Let me say something, and then you can say something, Bobby.
Alkaline, no.
Bobby, can I say something first? Can I say something first?
You can't say it back because you're gonna be long. You long-winded as hell. And
come on, man. I'm asking you like a man. Now you trying to play me? Man, fuck you, little bitch. You a bitch ass nigga. I'm trying to talk to you like a fucking man, bro. I ask you like a man.
Bro, what's your problem,
I ain't a
bro?
little kid, bro. Because I see you in the streets and I'll fuck you up.
I just said I had the baby. So
listen, bro, you can't fuck with me in the streets, bro. I'm a real nigga. Stop playing with me, bro. Don't little kid me. I'm smarter than y'all. You can't fuck with me. I'm smarter than y'all. I'm real in the streets than y'all.
Hey, well then get out the line with all these
man. I'm a real nigga in the streets. I'm from Red Hook, Brooklyn. Don't fuck with me. I'll give you the Addy and you can come and meet me on the block. Don't play with me. My fucking family is real gangsters and all that. I don't play that bullshit. So I can see you in the hood if you really want to take it there. And I'm way smarter than you.
This is a result of PTSD.
That's why you cut me off.
I fucking left out for 1 minute. And this is what I come back to. And like y'all said, y'all, we up here, we can't be up here teaching about PTSD and displaying the shit at the same time. Just like the sister said. Alkaline.
Yo, bro, they can't fuck with my knowledge and they keep cutting me off.
I want to cut you off, bro.
Okay.
Because I'm smarter than all of y'all.
Let him go, y'all. And Alkaline, everybody, we got to have a limit. We ain't gonna rush it, though, but just let him go, man. Let him go, y'all. We'll get it out.
Yeah. Hold on. Tell him shut the fuck up for a second, bro. Let me go. Let me go like bro said.
Watch your mouth, white boy.
Listen, like that's that NY shit, man. We already know. Go ahead.
The fact that he gets to throw a fit.
I'm a real ass nigga.
You get to throw
Niggas got big
you bitch ass nigga. I give you the fucking Addy, yo. I'm from Red Hook, Brooklyn.
You throwing a fit to get your way, man.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I told you that nigga got a shout out to T-Town in the house.
I'm gangster. Who the fuck they talking to, bro?
Hey,
Fuck they talking to?
Everybody.
hey, out the line. Wait.
I give you the fucking adder, you bitch ass niggas. What the fuck you saying?
Hey, Red Hook, Brooklyn. Hold on. We need the Vegan back. We need my Sabian brother back. Come on, man. I got you on
So
here.
tell them stop disrespecting me like that. They scared of my knowledge, and then they want to bring the hood up.
Hey, cause I'm gonna say this, man.
Nigga, I'm a white boy, Puerto Rican.
Hey, guess what, bro? All of these brothers on this panel, I got respect for, man. Like, come on, I don't need you niggas. We about unity. Come on,
I will
man.
beat the shit out of one of these pussies. Fuck that.
Hey, let it go. Come on, brothers. We gonna make a deal in 2023 that we gonna. Hey, listen, we in Mercury retrograde, bro. That's what that is right there. Let's just try this again. Get the mic and give us the teachings, bro. You got 3 minutes, man. Come on, let's change the energy.
All right, back to Alkaline City for fucking pussies cut me off. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep promoting meat. It's healthy. You're gonna live 100,000 years. What is meat? Meat is something when it's a dead carcass. And what is the dead carcass? Putrefied waste. When it goes into your body, it causes something called uric acid. If you don't know what uric acid is, look it up. Uric acid is the leading cause to colon cancer, diabetes, sickle cell anemia, obesity, heart disease, lung disease, so forth and so on, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're telling me that you're going to eat meat all these years and live 100,000 years and you ain't going to have a fucking deficiency in your body, you're a fucking dumbass. Prove me fucking wrong. I'm Alkaline City.
Well,
Shut the fuck up. Suck my dick.
Hold on, KW. Hold on.
Lived healthy as hell and ate meat every damn day, grew her own crop, so you can't tell me nothing. Nothing at all. I hear you. I respect
But look,
your knowledge,
KW. Can I say something to address Alkaline? Because that's what you was talking to me real quick, right?
one time, yo?
So I just hold on real quick, girl, and I promise you.
All right, I'll go ahead.
Somebody got feedback. That's you, Daryl.
No, not me. No, I ain't got no kids.
Okay. Somebody might got feedback. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go then. Alkaline. I've been eating plant-based for well over a decade now. So I feel you as far as the plant-based diet. But as far as therapy goes, my brother, when my cousin got murdered, that didn't my plant-based diet didn't help with my PTSD from that situation. I still went through it. You see what I'm saying? The people, I know plenty of people on vegan diet that's suffering from PTSD, been having vegan diets and plant-based diets for years, following Dr. Sebi diet and all of that. But when they go through traumatic experience, they still suffer some forms of depression, PTSD, going through stuff. So it's kind of like, I would have to like wholeheartedly disagree with you that your actual diet, the food that you eat, has something to do with your PTSD. Me being a practicing, if you want to call it vegan, plant-based, for 12 years now, my babies never ate meat. You dig what I'm saying? But it's still trauma that I go through. That ain't got nothing to do with my diet.
Yeah, precisely, man.
Hey, can I say something?
And go ahead, bro. You got it.
What's up, bro Sanchez and the panel? Peace, y'all. Hey, so I want to talk about two things. Okay, so my kids, I got a son and a daughter, and ever since I've been married for like 12 years out of the 22 years that we've been together, and my son grew up most of the time with us, and when we got a divorce, I guess that's what everything went to hell. For at least starting from with my son, because my daughter wasn't born until 2006. My son was born in 1997. So when we got divorced, next thing you know, I'm hearing my son in school. He broke a pencil in his ear. I don't know how the hell he did that shit, but he stuck a pencil in his ear and broke. And my ex at the time told me, I guess the divorce has something to do with his his mental, his psyche. Because we've been together for all that time, and I think it might have affected him. So I never expected my ex to take him to a therapy. It's like she never gave me a chance to have a talk with my son at the time. And now my daughter, she's 16 now, up to today, and she's going to therapy. And
I'm just asking him, what is this therapy thing? Why are you going there? What's so, you know, just like you said a little bit, bro, Sanchez, about you know, I think it's just like the kid, the society, and that they growing up in, the environment that they're growing up in, trying to find all this identity bullshit. And you know, I think it's part of that. So you might be right on that. But my second thing I want to talk about is, and I'm not trying to have no argument, Alkaline. I mean, you know, everybody's different in what they do when it comes to the diet. I said this like a few months ago, but we had an argument about it, but I don't want to have no argument. I'm just telling you my personal story about when I got on the carnivore. Meats for me is working for me. I'm down. That at the time we were talking, I think I was like at 284. Now I'm down to 265. I just eat nothing but meat. I don't eat no vegetables, because the reason why is, you know, we all got cancer cells. So if your cancer activates and the cancer feeds off of carbohydrates, it feeds off of that. Okay, so that's why it spreads wildly. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I looked this up, and I was like, dang. So if you never had carbohydrates in you, which is vegetables, your fruits, and all that stuff, you would the cancer would never spread. And there's so many different testimonies of people having different diseases and stuff like that. Like anywhere from heart disease to diabetes. Like I reversed my diabetes now. I'm not even diabetic no more. And the misnomer was always like, once you get diabetes, you can't get rid of it. That's bullshit. I done proved my doctor that, and I mean, my doctor is just like, she's like gone crazy. Like she don't understand how just eating meats can cause a reversal of diabetes. So I'm just coming from a personal testimony. I ain't trying to have an argument about it, and that's all I want to say. So I'll yield back.
For you, brother.
Did
What
it please?
kind of meat are you eating? Hold on, wait.
Yeah,
I'm asking a question.
get that
What
real
kind of
quick.
meat are you eating, brother? What kind of meat are you eating?
Oh, I just meat, like steak, lobster, sauces, bacon, and the only thing outside of meats I can eat is eggs, because that's protein, and cheese.
Are
Okay,
they grass
that's it.
fed? Are they grass fed or pasture raised?
Hey, Daryl, they gonna
Oh,
get
I
you
don't look all that. I don't look at.
they
I don't look at all that.
they gonna
Huh?
get you. You gonna have doctors
I
prescribing.
know, but I ain't trying to have no
Hey,
argument. I just say what I
but
said.
look, but
I
I'm
lost
just
it.
But
saying,
look,
bro. I'm just
Sanchez,
saying,
done.
bro.
can I say
You
something real quick,
you
done.
said,
Sanchez?
but
I don't care.
look.
I'm done.
Only
I
one.
want to
I'm
explain
just
that
gonna
though,
say
not
one
to
thing
argue
though,
with him.
man. I ain't
Okay.
gonna argue with him. It just sounds funny to know that bacon healed his diabetes. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
I want to explain this shit, right? Hold
But
on.
see,
Hold on,
naturally, your body,
Salutes to
the way
the
that your body process things, right? We still got to look at negative and positive. This shit ain't good or bad. So it's just like choosing the energy polarity. It's like if you're gonna eat meat, you should go all the way. If you're gonna eat veggies and fruit, you should go all the way. You dig what I'm saying? To get the full effect of whatever you're doing. So like what the brother's saying, he just went straight meat because a meat eater, like when motherfuckers say that they the lion is a meat eater, the lion don't eat motherfucking pasta salad. No, I'm being real with you.
Hey, Bobby,
Lions don't eat pasta salad and shit
Yo,
like that.
Bobby, that
but think
sound
about it.
like, bro, that
It
sound
sounds like
like,
he could just pull that out of his ass.
it kind of sound like a motherfucker saying, bro, I went straight candy. I went straight candy around this bitch.
No, not like
I
that.
went straight candy around this bitch, and I healed my goddamn cancer.
But for real though,
I'm fucking with Daryl. But salutes to Daryl. That's my nigga though.
that shit
Salutes.
work, man. I got so much energy. I got a lot of energy. It just works, man. I love it. Freaking love it.
Nah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I've heard people
Research it.
I don't know how true it is, but I've heard people that went on all meat diets before and reverse shit.
Yep, it sure did. I'm a living testimony to that. Because at first I was like, oh hell no, because my boy, he was 400 pounds. He was 400 pounds. He found the diet. He did it for like 7 months at the time, and he lost 100 pounds. And then he told me his doctor said, Man, I don't know what you
No,
doing.
you lied, Daryl. He lost 100 pounds on the meat diet.
Dude, straight
Yo,
up.
Yeah,
Straight
because you
up.
cutting out the
He
you
was
cutting out
200 pounds.
carbohydrates.
In 7 months, he came down to 100 pounds. He lost 100 pounds. He looked nice too, though. You know what I'm saying?
This is like the equivalent to a nigga working out and being on a vegan diet and blowing up, getting fat than a motherfucker. That's what that's like.
Yeah, it's bizarre as a mother.
Yeah, it
That
is.
brother's right,
That would be the opposite of that, there. But I ain't
Ketogenic diet does cure diabetes, bro.
I'm just trying to tell you, I have no reason to lie to y'all.
I'm gonna take your word,
Did
man.
you work out? Did you work out? Did you run?
You know what? To be straight honest,
no workout required.
I mean, you're supposed when you do this diet, you're supposed to work out. But you know, because I work so much, I didn't work out. I lost the weight, but I have not been working out. But just this past weekend, I did started working out. You know, I started lifting weights now. You know, but I haven't done that, and I've been on it I'm on my 5th month now. About 5 months now.
So you saying you lost weight by eating more meat?
Right, exactly. Right.
Did you cut out bread and sugars?
Hell yeah.
Hell,
no bread,
no
bread, no vegetables, no fruit.
Right. Y'all gotta listen.
No.
Right. Hey, can I say something real quick? I'm about to jump off. Let me say something real quick. The brother was right. The ketogenic diet does cure diabetes. Breads and grains are all plant-based. They're the carbohydrates that's feeding the illness. I'm telling you guys, listen to that, brother.
There you go.
Sanchez. Later.
There you go.
Hey,
That's
salutes, Loyal. Thanks for making it make sense, man.
My man, Loyal. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Because see, my mom and dad and my brother, one of my brothers, they all passed away with cancer. And I wish I knew about this diet way before then. Because I know that for a fact that it would reverse the effects in them having the cancer. Pretty sure it would. But hey,
so is it any specific type of meat?
I heard
non-GMO.
Nope. Just on the main thing is you got to eat. You always get fatty meats. It's important to feed fat and to because see, man, look, check it out. Here go the game. Okay, everybody know what the AMA is, right? The American Medical Association, right? Yeah. Everybody know that, right? Mm-hmm. It's a fucking big game. This is why they introduced carbohydrates in the goddamn first place and sugars and shit. Because when they introduced that, they had to figure out, because they're making up these medicines. Don't forget, they're making up these medicines. They figure out ways that they can keep you on this medication and all this bullshit. And
stay off of that doc.
Hello?
Yeah.
A lot of interference.
Yeah, let me say this. Salutes to Indy. How you doing, Indy? You want the mic, sister? Salutes.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Let me just hop in real quick. I got 2 different things to say. 2 things don't really have to be mutually exclusive. I think that Western institutions shouldn't be trusted, especially since, like you said, Sanchez, they're dealers. And not only that, they get free them therapy sessions. It's like they get free scientific research on your thought process, like how you view the world, like your projections of the world and how you internalize projections of the world. And like they have the power to take your rights away, to shake narratives on the things you tell them about yourself, like, and give it connotations on symptoms that they themselves have to keep updating because past diagnostic and statistical manuals of mental health were flawed or even dehumanizing in most instances. This is like what I'm about to say right now is literally a quoted thing. There are 2 main interrelated criticisms of the DSM-5, an unhealthy influence of the pharmaceutical industry on the revision process and an increasing tendency to medicalize patterns of behavior and mood that are not considered to be particularly extreme. So yes, y'all right on that. But I will also say that you can't really deny the karmic effects of the world. Like what was done to your grandparents get passed down to your parents, which gets passed down to you. And like, that's even when the kid, like, let's say a kid don't ever even meet their parents, they'll still act like them. Or for like the ones who do still have their parents around them, like on a personality level, like how y'all interact with each other, that trickles down, however they was treated in life, that made them who they was. And that also, and you know what I'm saying, they can respond, okay, like for example, if your parent is a alcoholic, either okay, I'm gonna become an alcoholic, or I'm gonna never touch alcohol in my life, or you know, stuff like that. That stuff gets passed down. It trickles down to the kids, like regardless. It's not just about like personal responsibility when we live in a system ruled by puppet masters. Like we know the people in power love chessboards. Like this how they keep us entrapped in their illusions. Like self-care is not going to erase institutions and systems that cause the distress that we're experiencing. But I will say, you know, the humor alkaline, nutrient deficiency is also an issue because it sends a message to your body that you're in distress or that you're in scarcity. So you got to go hard and be angry or be, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like it all works together because there's a reason why we have like food apartheid, where, you know, it keeps us from being able to have our own gardens and making our own food and cooking our own food and not getting the scraps and you know what I'm saying, the overly processed foods and not being able to cook because we at work 12 hours a day and we got kids and, you know, it all plays together, you know?
Got
So,
you, yo. I agree. Everything you just said, except for the fact where you said self-love is not the cure to it. I think self-love is the...
No, I didn't say self-love. I said self-care is not going to change what's happening because it doesn't. Self-care is not the problem. The problem is the people that are controlling everything.
I got that. But self-care is entwined with that term love, right? You love, you
right,
care
but
for
I'm not
yourself,
saying
right?
you're not. But to tell people they need to do self-care when it's the systems that's the problem is like saying they're not doing self-care. People are doing self-care, but okay, let's say for example, I can go and meditate, but that's not going to change if they start burning the buildings down and bombing the fucking country. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
you're right.
What
Exactly.
is that going to do? What is that going to do?
And I tell you exactly what it does. It recalibrates your thought process, which then gives you
when you
something
dead
else.
because you blown up from a bomb. What are you saying to me right now?
That's nature versus nurture.
What I'm telling you is when you start self-caring or self-loving yourself, you start self-seeking, which means you go further deep within. You start fucking with what's going on.
But that's like saying that we don't have that from jump. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's like putting the responsibility onto individual people. That's my only problem I ever have on this panel is everybody it's like they have all this shame and guilt. Like you're not the problem. Like you're really not. Like, come on now. Like, if anything, I feel like we do.
Think about
I feel like we do
because you're not taking
exceptional jobs.
You're not taking accountability.
No. I'm not even gonna look. What you're saying doesn't make any sense because it's not based in reality. You can be perfect and it won't matter because people are literally puppeteering everybody and everything, and you don't have control over a lot of things. You can do everything in the world and it will still cause problems because we're not the problem. Why are you upset with me saying that to you? Why you feel guilt or something? You feel guilty for you feel like you're not deserving of that? I don't understand what you're saying to me right now.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's not about focusing on the problem. It's about not focusing on the problem. I know that I'm not the problem. So like that's what I'm telling you. Like people as a whole, we have to think as a whole. And a lot of people are not thinking as a whole, correct? Everybody's thinking in their own lane. I'm doing me. Okay. So the only way things are really going to get better is when people can start focusing on themselves enough to where they don't have to focus on the outside bullshit no more. And when they start doing that, I don't really know what you're
talking about no more. I'm not gonna cap because I just gave a whole understanding of how if you go to therapy trying to work on yourself, that's self-care. If you go to therapy trying to work on yourself and the people that you're talking to shape you in a narrative of a freaking evil person.
People, you keep talking about looking for something outside of yourself to help you feel better.
What are you talking about though?
I'm not well, let's see. So check this out. So check this out. So Sanchez, he made a link between war and therapy, or for instance, like war in the ghetto or war in the hood and therapy. You know what I'm saying? And then the PTSD it causes from it. So do you stop the war or do you stop the therapy? So
you stop the war.
You said that. Yeah, you stopped the war.
So yeah, as simple as that, yo. So yeah.
I mean, facts.
I
But it's
got a
not gonna
question.
stop people from still doing what they doing stupid shit, regardless of which. You can't control nobody else. So why focus on it? The only thing you should focus on is the control that you can only control, which is you and your emotions and your thoughts and how you feel, not what somebody else say, not what somebody else do, not what somebody else has expressed, not what somebody else is doing. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
Okay, that's cool. But like what I'm saying
important.
is if like we just said, do you stop the war? Do you stop this therapy? Like all I'm saying is I'm not saying that all I'm saying is if there's a war happening, it's going to be hard for people to focus on themselves at all. You're just going to be trying to survive. Like, so what I'm trying to do is get people out of the survival mode so that they can focus on these other things.
And I got
That's
you.
not an issue. That's not an issue.
And you're
So
right.
Sandy,
And what you mentioned earlier, I was
Was
trying to, to add on to that. Meditation. You said if you meditate and you go out here and then something happens, then yeah, I got that. But it's logical. But at the same time, meditation is for you to refine who you are, redefine who you are. So it's for you to recalibrate on a certain vibration. All this shit that goes on, everything is energy anyway. And so when you start realizing that there's shit that you can't control, but it's affecting you, that means that you're in a different frequency than what you need to be as far as your higher self. And you're out of
Okay, well, if
vibration,
that's
out
what
of
you want to
balance.
do is meditate when something's happening, and if what I want to do is get out in the street and get into action and make things happen, that's what I'm gonna do. But
That's
personally, I've been in therapy before where I express things about like political dissent, and what they respond to me is do meditation, and that doesn't make sense to me. I need something else. They cannot give me what I need, so that's what I'm trying to express to you right now. It's bigger than sitting in a room where I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not telling nobody anything. I'm not doing anything but sitting in my head. Okay, that's cool. I'm not saying meditation is bad, but I'm saying that's not my optimal response for the moment. I need
well,
something that's
you
going
know,
to give me a bigger trajectory.
there's other
right.
things that in the community that help us other than just therapy. You
Let me
got like
explain some.
big brother programs.
You know what?
You got
I think just to segue back to my original point is let y'all deal with this, and then I'm gonna ask the question again. We can look at all the things out there to help us, but I think it'll be more important, right? It'll be more important to look at all the things out there that's hurting us. So we want to do preventative approach. I can look around and say, hey man, it's a bunch of companies out there that's giving out band-aids, but it's a bunch of people out there giving out cuts. Now I can be thankful for the fucking band-aids, but I'm gonna look at what's hurting me. I know them band-aids can help me, but you see where I'm going here. That's what I meant about environmental factors versus just see, because they saying that therapy is the solution to create less swordsmen. I'm saying no. A person is seeking therapy because they already been cut several motherfucking times. I'm using an analogy, guys. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, when you look at the word environment, guess what's in that word? MENT, ment, which is the root word of mentality. That's very important. Environment. What's around you becomes part of your psyche. And so most of what we are, how we interact with the world is because of the environments we was raised in. And so if we want better, productive people, better, people with a better mindset, you got to incorporate better environments. You can't incorporate therapy, religion, and nothing like that. I don't even think that's really doing nothing but being like see, what happens is this. People are stressed up Monday through Saturday. Then they go to church Sunday. They get to cry, shout, and get it all out. And they feel better until next week come around and they got to cry again, shout it out. Sunday is a release day. They can release day. They can cry on that day about the bills they can't catch up with. And they might not want to do that at home, right? People don't want to do that in their home. They can release all that right there in the church, bring it to Christ. You know what we say. And it's the same kind of therapy approach to where like you could go up in there every visit and just cry it out. It's a place to cry, just to release this pent up, like the brother said, it's some things we can say to a therapist. We don't want to just be saying our family and et cetera and all that. Just like, people are going confess and make confessions. It's the same kind of approach and shit, But that's all I was saying. Like, yeah.
I want to chime in if I can. I think are you trying to say that there's like a stripping of the spiritual aspect that comes into healing? Are you trying to say that therapy strips the spirituality that we need when it comes to like mental healing and spiritual healing? Is that what you're trying to say? I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I'm saying that therapy is them saying that we're gonna heal your mind when really it doesn't heal your mind. It just make you feel better briefly in a fucked up mental condition.
Yes.
Placebo
Salute
effect, maybe.
Hey everybody. Salute everybody on the panel. Sanchez, I got a question. I feel like one of the issues that we dealing with communicating with each other is description and trying to describe things as best we can, because I feel like we've been talking about so-called therapy for however long the show been on, but nobody actually defined what it is. So I don't know what we trying to actually get at until you give me a description. Like, because if I'm describing what I see as therapy is two people talking in the room, I think we make things too sophisticated or too complicated. If we just try to describe what we're watching and then analyze what we're watching, it won't be that hard to figure out what we're calling so-called therapy and if it works or not. So let's go through this process. We got two people in the room. They're talking. We're calling this therapy. But what is the action that's going on? You just got two people talking.
Yeah.
So like another person said earlier, why can't you tell that truth to the family member that the action that was made that caused this so-called trauma happened amongst some actual people? Why ain't you dealing with those people? Why do you want to take the secrets to somebody who never was a part of that situation? And the therapy happens because we're trying to solve something. We're going to therapy to get a solution, correct?
And
I gotta.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead. Ladies first, then I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm finna blow y'all mind. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Everybody go ahead.
I just want to say, as a person who's been through molestation and trying to introduce this to family, this is a family, secret. I've tried to introduce this and I was rejected. So I've never been to therapy, but this is what would make a person want to go to somebody to understand. Why am I being rejected when I'm just telling my truth?
Yeah,
so that's my point of view.
You pointing to the problem. That's what I was trying to get at. When we trying to solve something, we gotta address what the problem is. The problem is our families.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
We're gonna have to address this whole issue is everybody, individual families, because that's who we came into this world a part of.
Yeah,
like we all came into this world a part of a group, right?
I want to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
My bad. I keep cutting you off. I thought you was done. Go ahead. Take your time, man.
No, I was just trying to illustrate K-Dub's point in that her healing can happen, but the group that she come from won't allow it. This is the problem. We all born into families. We trying to get therapy from the people who actually harmed us, which is mainly the people in our families. And we trying to get answers, what I feel like one of the major issues is we're not asking for money, K-Dub. I understand. You're not asking for anything but to be listened to and just acknowledged. But it seems like we have a lot of discussions without acknowledgement or pointing out the actual issue. It seems like we like to complain and address things, but not get to the solution part.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Solution is unconditional love.
Let me explain something. You know why we can't get to the quote unquote solution that everybody like to bring up? Because when you look around, there's so many hundreds of thousands and millions of solutions that people selling you, and all of them lead to nowhere. So it's like, how do you find the right one? In that situation, you realize that the root word of solution is what I always tell you, is soul. The Most High ain't send you to this earth without everything in you need to create the kind of life that you can be satisfied with. I didn't say the kind of life that's gonna make you a billionaire, millionaire, but a life of satisfaction. But check this out. Let's talk about therapy. Let me talk about therapy, right? This definition is so scary. It's cringeworthy, and it backs up everything I've been saying. Let's read it. A therapy or medical treatment is the what? That A word right there ought to make you mad. It's the attempted remediation of a health problem. So they're saying they're attempting, usually following a medical diagnosis. Like we said, gonna give you some medicine. Look. As a rule, each therapy has indications and contraindications. There are many different types of therapy. Here go the part. Not all therapies are effective. Look at this word, many, M-A-N-Y. Look, many therapies can produce unwanted and adverse effects. Hold on, not a few therapies can produce unwanted or adverse effects. It says, what that say again, that says many, right?
Many.
Where it say?
Many.
Hold on, I want my crowd to hear it.
Many.
Any.
Many.
Many more. Come on, say it again. How many?
Many.
Any.
Many.
Many more. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It said many motherfucking therapists. Now, how all of these niggas going to see a shrink doctor and it's working for them, but it ain't working for that white boy? He's still gonna shoot the motherfucking church up.
Yes, he is.
Let me leave him alone. Let me leave him alone. They know they lying.
You know it.
Hey, bro, that shit said many therapies can produce unwanted effects, nigga. You worse than what you was. It didn't say a few, but many. Man.
But what does it say? The rape.
I had to. I think most
fucking you over.
Good. Oh, I was gonna say I'm one of the people that had an adverse reaction, I guess, to therapy, where I was going to therapy for mother issues, and my therapist, which you cannot really pick because it's through my employer, she ended up being a Black woman. So I ended up like ghosting my therapist just because it made me not trust her. I couldn't trust the advice she was giving. I couldn't trust, anything she was saying, because I dealt with abuse throughout my life from women, especially Black women, so it can have adverse effects. I think, of course, therapy is useful, but I can attest to it not having the best outcome. I think sometimes it's not healthy to talk to someone that's from your same environment or that even resembles anyone that might have abused you. So I agree that, sometimes it's not always the answer. I wanted to just chime in.
You know what? And a lot of guys go up in there and they tell that therapist something that they never told nobody in their family. and they realize it didn't solve their mental issue. Now a nigga know your business. And that make you even more fucked up now.
Precisely.
God damn.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
And,
like,
and you know some of the therapists be
are you
telling
not
them
comfortable with black women anymore?
I just think with that therapy session, it didn't really make a difference. I think that was probably my fault for not continuing the therapy sessions, but I still am apprehensive to having strong bonds and relationships with Black women. I was abused by my grandmother, my aunt, and my biological mother. Not even sexually abused, I was mentally abused. And
Mentally, verbally abused. Yep.
yeah, mental,
Yeah, but
physical from a Black woman, and then sometimes when the Black go to a therapist that looks like, but that can be hard because what if, a lot of us in the Black community were abused by people that look like us. So I'm thinking if I want to go to therapy, it's with someone who doesn't even look like me, so I can probably, just get everything off my chest without feeling like I'm reliving something that I'm trying to escape from by going to therapy. So I don't think
That's fine.
anything was to answer your question in my experience.
You probably
I
started
mean,
feeling better when you stopped going, for real. Like how when I stopped, when I left the church, I immediately felt so much better.
me too. Same
everything
here.
I was
why?
seeking, everything I was seeking in the church, I found it as a backslider. Ain't that a bitch? Let's go.
Exactly.
I would think you would want to spend more time with black women or get through it, you know,
Can I
rather
ask you a
than
question?
kind of go to a different race.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what
That's
the
what I
solution for that would be. And a sister said that earlier. She said unconditional love, bro. And that's what I was trying to explain when it came to the other sister talking about the society and what she wants to react upon. When you have unconditional love, man, you're led by a higher source. You're not thinking on this worldly level. And when you're thinking from what you see, then you're just regurgitating what you see, because that's all you're going to get in. What you see is what you're getting in, and what you give out is what you get back. That's the law of the universe. So people got to understand that at some point in time, it's about taking accountability. I want to tell a story, bro. If it's all good with you, bro Sanchez, I want to give my story
You know
about
what?
molestation.
And you know what, brother? We're gonna hear you out, brother. And everybody in the chat room, but the brother gonna tell his story. So let's be real, adult, mature within our texts and what we saying when he talking. So go ahead, brother. You got it.
Yo, appreciate it. Appreciate it. So I was saying, shit, man, I got molested, and I think it was between the ages of 8, 7, 8, I think it was. And it screwed my mental up for sure, because I first off, I came out as an anomaly. I'm born one out of 110,000 babies born bladder extrophy, meaning born with my bladder on the outside. So I came out fighting for my life and came out all odds against me off the rip. But then to be molested in that age where I didn't know what I was doing or why I was made to do so, it by a female at that. It really screwed my perception of who I am, who I was, what I was supposed to be doing. It was real confused, man. You know what I'm saying? And so through life, I had a lot of trauma, bro. Like a lot of trauma, man. Like, hey, hands down, like I had to wear Pampers, bro, when I was in elementary school. I'm like what's that? 4th grade, 3rd grade, shit like that. I mean, it was that bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go through that shit. But I'm strong enough to say what I'm telling you now because I went through the therapy. And not only that, I was also able to seek my higher self. I was also able to take accountability for some of the things that I did go through. Because, yeah, as my childhood, it was hard because there was a lot of shit I didn't have control over. But once I got older and started gaining control, I still was, was stupid about it. I was retarded about it, but it was because of my environment. It was because of what I was fed. It was because of the conditioning. It was because of the tradition. So I had to get out of all of that. I had to face me, regardless of the illness, regardless of being born the way I was, regardless of the pity. I didn't want to feel no more pity for myself. I didn't want nobody else to feel no more pity for me. So these are things that I had to face on my own. It wasn't about the counselor. It wasn't about these females. It wasn't about the problems. It wasn't about anybody outside. It wasn't the churches. It was nobody, but it was me who I had to face at the end of it. And because of that, I'm able to tell my testimony now. I got no confidence. I got no belief in myself and who I am. I love myself more than enough to say what I feel now. So on one note, I stand with the counseling, but on a more definitive note, I stand against it because it's more about self-love, man. And self-love trumps all of this shit.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean?
You know, because when you think about it, yeah, it's some fucking crackheads, it's some homeless folks, it's some people who really like in third world countries, like with flies on them, who are happier than a lot of these rich folks who got a therapist. And then you be like, why these rich folks be committing suicide and shit? Like, what the hell? And like, we don't really get it. It's like, I don't understand, but I do know like a nigga like Charlemagne, multi-millionaire, and constantly promote therapy and talking about how like therapy just changed his life. And just, brother, that's crazy that, you know, a lot of these folks, you know what I'm
May I
saying?
speak to something, please?
Yeah, y'all go ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Oh
I
yeah,
just joined.
salute, sister. You got it.
I wanted to make sense of a lot of things in my life that happened to me as far as trauma and my innocence being taken away, which if you look at the 10 Commandments from a Gnostic point of view, it says thou shalt not commit adultery, but that has nothing to do with grown people consenting to sex. That has everything to do with taking the innocence away from pure spirits or like children. So that's the problem in this realm. And I feel like on a deeper, higher level, we choose to come into our families to break these generational curses and as indigo children to shape things up, so to speak. So that's part of our mission. So knowing that these lower entities or whatever you want to say that control this, they do everything in their power to keep us away from our divine mission. So now that's more important than talking to them, because if you go to these people in the society who've been programmed by the society, they're never going to give you the truth. You have to go to the source within, which also ties into healing the body, mind, soul by fasting. From food, from toxins, from water, even complete fasting will lift the weight and the heaviness that keeps you grounded here. And once you feel that light and that weight lifted off of you, that's where you can truly live in your truth, whether people like it or not. And that's being a spiritual warrior. And I'm glad I was able to just add to that, because that's something that I had to accept. Like maybe my mom was so hard on me because she was showing me how the world was going to be hard on me. You know
Another
what I mean?
thing is your mom was probably seeing what you didn't see in the carnal eye. You
And maybe
understand what I'm
I
saying?
her because I seen something in her I wanted to heal.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love what you're saying,
Exactly.
sister.
I really feel
Bob.
you all. I feel all y'all on this too. Like I just wanted to say something too. My love is boundless, but there are definitely conditions to my love. I need to feel safe and cared for to have anyone in my space. I think to not want to have a therapist that reflects your abusers makes sense because number one, there are cultural expectations that inhibit you from being able to speak to someone if, you know what I'm saying, they hold those same values. As far as sexual abuse, I didn't see your name, but thank you for telling your story. I just want to say that nothing says I don't love myself because I give myself grace instead of letting predators gaslight me into unarming myself from my boundaries.
Fact.
Personally, I've been violated too. So I think that's why I have a different perspective because I understand, I know all too well about abusers and, you know, growing up in certain households where not saying I had no sexual abuse by my family or nothing, but like I had family that didn't understand boundaries. They didn't understand consent. They weren't able to teach me those type of things. So now that I understand them, I can hear something a mile away when somebody is trying to unarm me from my boundaries and guilt me into allowing them space that they do not deserve. So that's all I want to say.
I got a question to the panel. I'm sorry. Well, the question had to deal with all of us here, because I feel like we all get therapy from Sanchez, and I want to hear everybody's response. I feel like when we are allowed to talk and we feel like we have an audience to listen to us, therapy is just someone actually caring enough to listen to what you have to say and respond back to what you're saying. Not say anything back, actually listening to you. Because people listen with different motives. But if somebody listening, like y'all repeating to love you, they're listening with love, like they actually care enough to try to help you solve your problem. That's my assumption of what this thing we call in therapy is. And I think we keep coming here to Sanchez because we getting bits and pieces of it as we're allowed to talk, and we know we have an audience listening. We want somebody to listen at the end of the day. If I'm assuming this is what therapy is, a listener.
That's big facts, bro. You're exactly right on that. It's like people look to have a platform to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be understood, to be reasoned with. I mean, that was what it was for me as far as the counseling goes, or, therapy. But when I, over time developed more about self-love, about myself, then it's like I understood that was certain energies, that was certain currency I was giving out. Like, people don't realize that your mind, your attention is a currency. That's why they call it paying attention, because you're giving currency. You're giving attention, which is a frequency. That's your energy. So when you're paying attention, if you're not paying attention to something that's beneficial to you, you're giving your money away. You're giving your money away. That's like saying, I got rent at the house. I know I got rent at the house that I need to pay for, but I get out here at the light and I give this bum $500 because I know he need it, but I know I need it too. But okay, because I got it, I'm just gonna give it. So that's basically what, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, we can't do that. If you train and reprogram yourself to give your mind, to give your body and your soul exactly what it is that it needs to become more beneficial, then you can outgrow all that trauma. I'm still doing it, and I'm speaking from experience. That's what I'm telling people. Like, it's not always about where your background is and who your folks were. Man, my dad is shitty, but I still have a dad, and I'm grateful for that. And so because of that, I'm living, and I'm not surviving. These are because of the conditions that we're brought into from birth.
Yeah, and just
And we
just
stay in a
imagine.
survival state. It's continue. But when you learn how to switch that switch, you learn from living in survival to thriving, then things around you will begin to transform in your favor. But it's the mindset, though. When we keep blaming it on our traumas and our past, we're not going to heal, because we still have a choice at the end of the day to say whether I want to feel bad about what happened to me or I want to feel good. We're not about what happened to me, but about something else that makes me feel good. So I can leave whatever happened to me behind. You're never going to get rid of it, but there's ways to channel through what you're going through.
May I propose something?
Talk to me.
Why? Well, we have to look at abuse as sort of a rite of passage, so to speak, like a spiritual rite of passage, where pain is, if you see like certain tribal rites of passage, they're it's marked with pain, and whether it's usually physical, or you have to like fight. You have to fight. So you got to look at it as spiritual rite of passage to get to the core and the soul and the meaning of why you even came here. So we got to look at it from a different perspective, not the victim, or because if we go to therapy and we're just putting it all out there, we're not going to get these universal keys and how to overcome it.
Yeah, I love it.
And the rite of passage is just a transition from childhood to adulthood to, the next level of adulthood to eldership, and then to ancestorship.
Yep. And that's all that that's all level, like every segment in time, it's a segment in a level going up or down. It's your choice. Based off your decision, you're either leveling up or you're leveling down. But every segment in time is levels. It's levels to the shit, like you said. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get from the basic to, a kid to, all right, now I'm running a little bit because I'm walking enough. Now I'm flying and shit. Now I'm an angel.
You gotta
and then
fall sometimes, and you gotta cry sometimes, and you gotta heal.
Exactly.
That's up to you.
Let me say
and
something.
How much that weighs you down or set you free. That's up to you.
I want y'all to speak on this real quick, right? So when we talk about suicide and mental health issues, right? They are more prevalent, right, in technological societies. And we notice that in a lot of these, like we in real first world countries, technological societies that's moving fast. It's hard to keep up with them. It's costing more and more money for less and less quality of our favorite things that we like and shit like that. You feel me? Like, we understand all the stress factors. So being that we probably ain't gonna never change the fact that they're gonna create these toxic environments and shit, let's talk about the importance of how, when we say get back to nature, what does that look like? Does that look like taking you a break from the city every month, going out or vacationing more in the fucking woods? Does this mean ultimately saving up to go off grid? Because it ain't gonna get no better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Hey, like you just mentioned, I read up on some things where I've heard of millionaires, and I guess it's just how they, partake in their day though. But I think it's really, really smart. They take like 3 weeks to a month off from their business, and they call it unplugging. So they turn off their phone. They go, like you just mentioned, going somewhere on a private island or a private setting somewhere, and they lock themselves in, and they heal. They focus solely on them. Whatever they want to do to make themselves feel better, because they know that,
Yeah,
like you
because
said, this shit is not going to end.
not to cut you off, and I'm gonna let y'all have it back. It's because when I was looking at the word therapy, anything can be therapeutic. It's some people out there that's going through some shit way worse than a person who's seeing a therapist, and they listening to soul music and they ain't studying none of that shit they going. They not throwing it off their shoulders like a boss, and it's just because they love music. That's therapeutic to them to just listen to music. Like, I think that, for example, and I'm gonna end here. I think that we ain't born in a perfect world, but your imperfect environment should make you seek the perfections within yourself to make it out. So some people will say, man, I'm from the hood and it was so fucked up. All I had was my notebook and pen, and I rapped my way out this bitch. Or I sung my way out this bitch to get away from the gunshots. Went in my room and I would sing. Something like when I was young, I would go write poetry. I would read quotation books. I would do all kind of shit like that, right? The outside of my house was a harsh environment. So my little bedroom was my little heaven. And guess what? I was a loner coming up. But, that was a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? I like the gifts that I got for being a loner more than the curses. But check this out, just to make a long story short. Some folks, therapy is finding something that's therapeutic to you. That's called a passion. Most folks that need therapy ain't got no passion, man. And then guess what? Also, nature is a natural therapy. When we're in a natural environment, like no matter what stress you're going through, if you wake up in Fiji somewhere in a beautiful scenery and nature, you ain't gonna think about your problems. You're gonna try to enjoy your vacation. You gonna tell it, right? You gonna tell everybody in your damn family, look, man, don't talk to me about none of that shit back in the States. We'll deal with it after this. When we get back, we'll deal with that shit. Don't ruin my vacation. I passed the blunt and nigga go order up 2 more goddamn rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Okay, Sanchez, the point where you said your bedroom was your heaven, and back to environment and the war that is on us. Right here, close to home, we've had kids in their room, in their heaven, shot dead while they're asleep, playing on their iPad. This is the trauma. This is why we should stop the war. How do we heal that trauma? There's no therapy session. Like Bobby said, there's no therapy session to tell their parent their child is dead and their child wasn't doing nothing because of a senseless act as a result of the war outside. They're safe supposedly, but
you ain't
they're dead now.
It ain't safe. I don't think they safe and they the thing is this. I never needed therapy because therapy for me was isolating myself from the world and making a beat, or isolate myself from the world and writing a fucking a verse, writing a song. Isolate myself. When the world gets tough, I make music. When the world gets tough, I fade away and go into the arts. I said that in a song. You know, some of the greatest arts was made during the worst times on earth for that reason. But that's all I was saying. Like, that's what hip hop was supposed to be. A bunch of people from a fucked up environment, but channeling that energy into some creative. But what they created was, you know, self-destructive, but to right now. But you know.
I was just speaking to the fact, back to the question you asked about what do we stop?
Yeah, we stopped the war.
We stopped the war, basically.
Let me ask you something, K-Dub. Let me ask you something. Let me ask y'all something. I was saying earlier that I don't think it's gonna get no better, right? So speaking to like a child growing up in Chirac right now, and they ain't moving nowhere. They ain't going into the jungle. They not going to nature. I'm trying to throw them something. Like, look, fade away into something you passionate about if you in like Crown Heights, Brooklyn, some damn well, right? You in motherfucking Compton, goddamn Slauson and Crenshaw, you coming up. I'm saying, look, you can escape the hell. Bessemer, right. I'm just naming some shit. You're Bessemer. Because I'm telling you how I escaped it in my area. You know, and if I start you know what I'm saying? But I was a part of it too. I ain't gonna act like I'm a holier than thou. I'm just saying that when it come to the therapy shit, a lot of niggas around me, they mental, they psychology is really fucked because of them streets, man. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I just went in them deep enough to have that kind of psycho trauma. But I do think that it affect different people different ways. If all you got is the streets, man, you gonna really feel it harder than a nigga who got a couple of passions and shit he passionate about, in my opinion.
That's right. Because what it's about is, I'm sorry, sis, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say something real small because I relate to that too, because I'm really into poetry and stuff like that, and I'm really mindful. And I just want to give a real short dialogue I had with a friend one time. You know, they had more money, you know, they lived in the mountains or whatever. And so we was going up there so they can go pick something up so that we can go to the studio. And so we were driving up the mountain, and as we were coming up there, I was just noticing everything, like the trees, like the woodland communities and the decorations, like the culture, like the rock structures. And I'm just talking to him about it, you know, and like he looked at me and he looked so surprised. He was like, damn, like I come up here every day. I never noticed none of this stuff. Like you just showed me, like, I'm not really aware. Like I'm unaware. That's crazy. Like I never take time to look at my surroundings and, you know, find beauty in it or anything like that. And that is very important. That plays into the arts because it's finding that passion, finding something that, you know, just reignites that flame and, you know, you're grateful for, you know, whatever you have. So I do feel y'all on that. And
You
that's
know what?
definitely also why I relate to the hip hop culture.
You know what? You made me think about something, and it's gonna be real quick, and y'all can have it back. Arts used to be about tapping into a dimension through the arts of a place that you wanted to be, to escape the place that you currently was at. Then arts became glorifying the captive state that you currently at and saying to the next man, if you didn't come from the struggle, then man, you ain't like us. You had it easy. So what I'm saying is arts used to be people from downtrodden environments expressing the kind of worlds they would like to fucking be in, the world they would like, a world without racism, right? A world without poverty. A motherfucker was writing these, that was the art. And then art became, nah, I'm just from the slums, I'm from the hood, and I'm proud of it, nigga. Like, they had to change that. Because if the art start telling us to go against the real problem, like to really lust for the kind of natural environment that you're supposed to be in through the arts, then that would have been very different than where music went today, you see, which is the opposite. It was telling you to be proud that you from the fucking trap, that you from the, think about it. You know, that's like a bunch of rats saying, you ain't never got your cheese up out of a trap. And a rat saying, no, I never had to get my cheese out of a trap. My mom and daddy always just they found the way to get it, you know, and provide it for me, and boom. And the other kids saying, man, all of us rats, we had to get our cheese out of a trap and play Russian roulette with our head, man. And look, his brother died trying to get the cheese. His mama died trying to get the cheese. Man, you ain't tough. You ain't part of the, you ain't hot to get your shit out of a trap. You know what I'm saying? You know what? It should be the opposite. It should be the opposite. He should be telling them, man, oh my, they should be jealous of him, saying, wow, you didn't have to get yours out of a trap. We gonna try to be like you. But the rat who didn't have to get his cheese out of a trap now tries to, he sees some cheese on a trap and he say, I'm gonna prove to them that I'm part of this shit. Let me go get this cheese out this trap. And get his ass fucked up. And they like, man, that nigga ain't even have to be on the block. His folks was good. Like, let me stop, man. But go ahead. But yeah.
It's about how you deal with adversity. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, people who like overcoming adversity. Everybody has their own level of adversity that you face. And you should be humble with, you know what I'm saying, trying to overcome that, because like they say, it's always somebody who could do worse. So nobody's adversity is gonna be equal. Your own, you know what I'm saying, cross the bear, so to speak, is gonna be for you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the man that got 50 million could lose 48 and go to 2 million, and his life will crumble apart. And niggas that's broke will be looking like, man, but you still got 2 million. But you know, that's his adversity. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and he don't understand niggas getting their head blown off, because that's your adversity from your situations. But making it through adversity is something that all people respect. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you do it with humility. And that's the thing that I think that everybody kind of like striving for, the thing that could like lead to an ego problem. Like if you make it through something, like, nigga, you ain't tough or you ain't made it through that. But it really shouldn't be done with ego. It should just be humility. Like, you know, this adversity made me a stronger person. It made me able to, like, now that I know I can lift that load, shit, it ain't really a lot of loads that I don't feel like I can't lift, so to speak. You know, so adversity ain't really that bad. It's just based on your own perception and where you at, or where your community or culture at in life, you know?
And then somebody in the chat said, it don't make me feel better because somebody doing worse than me. But that made me think about something too. We always say when we in a fucked up position, hey man, be thankful. There's always somebody doing worse. See, cause even think about it, it's gonna be always
But
Not
somebody.
is that
somebody
not
doing work,
true?
Sanchez. I'm
Huh?
saying we're like
It's
that
always
saying.
somebody doing better, and it's always somebody doing worse, and it's always somebody in between. Is that not true?
That
Right,
is
but the
true.
thing is,
That's
how
true.
my granny used to explain it to me is like when the somebody is you, like chill out on that complaining, because when the motherfucker say it's always somebody doing work, it could be you, nigga. It can go from you losing your job to losing your car to losing your house. You see what I'm saying? So
But look,
that's
now,
what I
now,
mean
look,
by
now, now,
like,
now, watch this, now,
right.
watch this, now, watch this, now, watch this. What happened? Because I done seen niggas take that statement to not do shit, right? Hold on, hear me out, cause all of y'all right. I done seen nothing ass niggas when you tell them, bro, man, look what you doing with yourself. Like, bro, you slacking, you fell off. And a nigga go to point out folks that's doing worse. Like, hold up, man, this nigga's doing way worse than me, but I ain't talking about them, bro. I know where you supposed to be, nigga. Nah, bro. Cause if I make the standard the man that's doing worse than me versus the man that's doing better than me, I'm not gonna batter myself as a. I don't think that's the right approach to maintain. It's gonna
No, but
maintain
true.
like a. It's gonna. Cause
That's
look,
true. But if he doing, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, well, look, I'm just saying because I saw how niggas can use that now. Cause think about it, even a crackhead sleeping in the alleyway with a bottle and homeless can, and when you fucking say something to him, he can say, man, there's somebody doing worse than me, and he gonna be right too. Cause it
And
could
all I'm gonna
be.
say is, if that's how you want to look at it, that's cool. But once you put that energy out there, you could be that person that's doing worse than you right now. So the same way you a nigga that's sleeping on the side of a building with a bottle thinking it's somebody worse than you, that thought could lead to you being that person that's sleeping on the side of a volcano.
No,
Or
I think that nigga's series of actions led him in that corner, and along with his
Man, that's
mentality.
facts.
But I'm gonna
True,
tell you
but your
some.
mentality is a part of that,
Yeah,
right?
your
You like
mentality part of it.
you attach
Yeah,
to yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like I
yeah.
know people that's like a dreary ass person, a person that's always complaining about shit going wrong. Shit always go wrong for that person. Like it's one thing after another. Damn, my motherfucking car got a
Let me
flat.
tell
Then
you
you be like,
something.
man, it's cool.
Let me tell you
Like we
something.
can fix
Hey,
this.
Let me
Bob,
Let
you
me
holler at
right though.
Bobby. Let
knock
me
that
holler
shit
at
till the
Bobby for
engine
a
go out.
second. Let me holler at
Go
Bobby for
ahead.
a second. Hey, Bobby, that's called jinxie. But see, I'm gonna tell you how I look at this, right? There are people who complain about the fact that, man, we can't make it to the other side of this lake, and they complained about it for so long, and that led to them saying, somebody saying, what you gonna do about it? Like we say today, where the solutions at? And they started building a bridge. Now, if there was never no complaints, there would have never been an action. Even corporations got a complaint number. They got a complaint box or some of that nature. I don't think the complainer is in a fucked up situation because he complaining. I think he's complaining about his fucked up situation. I'm gonna say that one more time. I don't think a slave complaining about getting his ass whipped with a whip ain't making it better. True. The more he complain, the more master gonna whoop his ass. And a person can say, man, your complaints is why you getting the ass whooping. But somebody can say, but brother, his complaints is about the ass whooping. He ain't being treated like a human. Now a
I'm
person can,
agreeing with you on one point. I'm sorry.
yeah. But a person can say, well, why don't he stop complaining and hit that nigga back or do something? Then they'll have a point.
Well, that's the part that I was speaking about to speak to, the action. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's why I was agreeing with you at, like, if it ain't no action within your complaint, you're right. It's just complaining. And that's why I was talking about as far as somebody complaining about a situation. If you ain't putting no action into it, the situation will continue to get worse. You see what I'm saying? Like a nigga complaining about his headache, and like if it's going on for 6 months, and you ain't did nothing about it, nigga, eventually it's gonna be a tumor in your head. Cause
But see,
complaining
Bobby,
about,
but think
you
about
know what
it.
I'm saying?
But see what you was saying is like him complaining about it is what's giving him a headache. No, he complaining
No,
about the headache that he already had. We
no,
call
I
that
wasn't saying
jinxing.
complaining
Yeah.
about it giving you the headache. I'm saying it'll make your situation worse complaining about it. Like if you in a situation and you keep complaining about it, like a motherfucker that got something wrong with their car, damn, the check engine light then came on, and they keep on complaining about the check engine light until they go get it fixed. It's like eventually something else finna go wrong. Like you gotta do something. You see what I'm saying? The complaint falls on
No,
deaf
but
ears.
hold on. Nah, nigga, listen. I made you change your shit now, nigga. Cause
I ain't
check this
changed. I
out.
said the same thing.
Cause look, bro. Cause guess what you said? You was saying if a nigga is complaining too much, that's gonna pretty much make his shit go bad because a complaining nigga gonna have negative shit happening to him. And that's when I was like, no, the nigga that's complaining about the negative shit so the community can come together and make positive change, right? But I told you that's called jinxie, where niggas say, man, if you keep on talking about death, you gonna die. Now, I don't know how true that is. I wanted to debate you on that ideology. That's what you was saying earlier. Because look, because look though, Bobby,
can bring energy to you.
Look, I ain't gonna say you all the way wrong because look, a lot of rappers kept talking about death in every fucking verse and end up dying. So I ain't gonna say you motherfucking all the way wrong neither. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying you bring the energy you speak out. Like we all like this the advanced class. We know the energy we speak out, the thoughts that we project out there, like that shit come back to you. My fault, I'm sitting here smoking. But like it can't, I'm saying like the nigga that's complaining about something and not doing it, like you'll bring that shit to you, no matter what it is. You complaining about like for instance, a nigga got a raggedy car. He keep complaining about, man, I want a new whoopty bam. You see what I'm saying? If he ain't doing nothing to get that new car, eventually you gonna be on the bus, brother. That car gonna break down on you. Gonna bring some bogus energy to you, right? And if you want to say that's spookism or whatever, like I've seen it in real life where I'm like, bro, you keep on talking down on what you got now, you won't have that shit. And then
let me testify to that, bro. Hey, listen, Bobby, bro, you're not lying, bro. And the reason why I know you're not lying because this happened to me on numerous occasions, bro. Like so many times to where I thought I had a fucking spell on me. You understand? But what I'm trying to say is that, like you said, your words are powerful because of the energy that you're putting behind it. And everything that you say, you feel. So that's an emotion, that's energy and emotion, which is causing that to transform even more. That's a frequency that you're giving off. And every time that you do it, you bring it back to you. It's called law of attraction, bro. That's why that shit's real. That's why every motherfucking rapper talk about killing and rapping all this other bullshit. Them niggas end up dead. They re-prophesying on their own fucking life because it's called the law of attraction. Whatever you energetically put out, you're getting back. It's hands down. I've done it so many fucking times. Complained about my damn car and watch my shit fuck up even more. Wondering when I'm gonna get another. I get another one, complain about that, watch that shit fuck up again. And it go over and over and over. Trust me. He's telling the truth, yo. And listen, that's all I wanted to say, man. Much love to everybody on the panel, on the chat, man. Appreciate it, bro. Sanchez, give me a voice as always. Love you, bro, all the time.
And that's all I'm saying. It's an energy thing. Man, listen. I've seen two types of people. I've seen the person that's in the hood go to the grocery store. I mean, liquor store, whether he a bum or whatever type of nigga he is, and buy them scratch off tickets. And every time he lose, this nigga, man, bitch, I don't never win on these fucking scratch offs. Hands up, he like lose his mind. It like nigga spend $20, $30, don't none of them hit. And then I know another nigga that's like, man, give me $2. I'm broke. I'm finna go over here and win one of these scratch. Like he know he finna win. And you like, nigga, you ain't finna. And every time this nigga go up here, he win $10, $5, $50, too. I know niggas like that talk themselves into it. And whether we want to believe it's some jinxing or whatever. I'm saying just the energy that you put out there. I know people that no matter what job they go out for, they'll say, man, I'm finna get this job. I got it. They ain't never not got a job that they filled out for. And then some certain niggas just fill out for it and be hoping like, man, I hope they don't look up my history. I hope they don't look up when I got so it's like they talk themselves out the shit before they even go through it. You know, that's a form of energy projection to me.
Thanks, bro. Hey, y'all have a good night, man. All right, brother Sanchez. I'm gonna holler at you, bro. I'm still watching on the panel, man.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, but
That
I
last
mean, to
that
that,
last thing, Bobby, that last thing you said about energy projection, because I was just thinking this whole time y'all was talking about this and how it started from him talking about the mouse trap, right? When he brought up the mouse trap, it reminded me of like the Russian doll, like almost like, okay, you see somebody else doing something and now you are in the trap because now you about to take the cheese, but in a sense that now you're gonna go do the thing to take the cheese, but you already in the trap. Do you feel what I'm saying? And it also relates to like you guys were talking about doing better, doing worse, and in between. It's about navigation, like observing someone else's position and following in behind them or not. And that reminded me of something I just seen about ant mills, like where the ants like they go in a circle of death and they follow behind each other. Like one ant goes and veers off the path, and then the others follow behind because they kind of blind, so they smell their scent and they follow behind each other and they die of exhaustion because they're just rolling around and running around in a circle, not really going anywhere looking for food or anything. So that makes sense why, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the luck behind, you know what I'm saying, like y'all was bringing up the scratch offs and stuff like that. I feel like it's a matter of how you perceiving it and what you do with it. But that's all I'm gonna say.
I want to chime in on the law of attraction. Of course, I believe in that. I believe in power of the tongue. I think that's kind of what the title goes back to is, I guess it's kind of like religion versus man-made healing, religious healing versus man-made healing. I think people talk about manifestation. I know that's the new buzzword and it's real. Anything you speak and project out into the universe, it comes right back. But when you think about it, that's just prayer. That's just what they've been teaching in, religious books for ages and ages. So, I mean, like, I agree with all of that. I think when we go back to the topic of therapy and man-made healing and man-made connections, I think that's probably where he was getting at, where he's kind of saying that's like a false sense of healing going to another human when you can, I guess, go to like the spiritual source, like how people talk about manifesting in the universe. And that's all just spiritual talk, that's new age spiritual talk. That's really just old, ancient, thousands and thousands of years back worth of, sacred knowledge when it comes to, connecting with the universe through the tongue and repetition and praying. That's all still manifesting. That's an old way of manifesting. So I don't know.
Yeah, but is prescribed medications, is that necessary?
Right, that's what I was finna get to. Cause like if me and a sister had if we grew up brother and sister and we knew we could trust each other with conversations, we would be the therapy for each other. Like that's why I was talking like the family, like the interaction with another person, knowing that I'm you and you me, you know what I'm saying? We all so it's like being able to bounce things off of each other. Where the therapy came in, where anything that once you start to monetize off of it, it started to become tainted, and then people could just give you advice or whatever in order to keep their pockets flowing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at one point in time, it wasn't no therapy in the Black community. Then the big push for it came because I believe niggas start going to school to be therapists, and there wasn't no jobs for it. So it's like this shit is, it's still about monetary gain. And then like I think it was the sister who was just talking said before, they could shape your words and, you know what I'm saying, make you out to be a person that you actually not. So it really is detrimental in a sense. They can't really say what you telling them, but they could shape it in a form like, oh, they might be slightly psychotic or ready to kill somebody, or they might be, you know what I'm saying, on the edge to kill themselves or this or that. And like that, put your ass away. So it's like, but if I'm talking to somebody I trust, we'd be able to work through that thing. So I believe it was always the interaction of another person, but at some point we lost trust with each other, and then started trusting the monetary system to fix everything. Like, if I pay for it, it gotta work. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what money make us think psychologically. Like, if I pay for something, it gotta work for me. If I pay for this surgery, I'm gonna survive. If I pay for this car, it's gonna work. Like, it ain't always like that though.
On God, because you know what? I was actually just thinking about this same concept. That's why when I seen Sanchez like was talking about this, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hop on because I've been noticing, you know, with my family dynamic and stuff, you know, I don't know how many people, if I've really talked about it a lot or not, but my mom is the youngest, like one of the youngest of 19 kids. So the way that, you know, the way that I grew up is different. And I'm noticing that like me and my mom have a unique way of communicating with each other based on those traumas and like you know, feeling like we need to protect ourselves, and it's like almost like you bring out a different side of yourself because you feel like you got to be that person to carry that role for yourself, and you know what I'm saying, make sure you're safe. And to be honest, a lot of times people dissociate, and I feel like a lot of this kind of plays into that too, especially when you go to therapy, because it's like, okay, you talked about it and you act like the shit never happened until the shit comes back up again, and it's like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, this is an issue, you know. So I think that a lot of times we separate like parts of ourselves, and we have to figure out ways to reintegrate these you know, parts of ourselves that just want to make sure that we're safe and heard and protected, because if we don't feel like we're being heard, we're not going to keep talking to our family. Do you feel what I'm saying? So I had to realize that it was certain things my mom was doing, and it was like, I don't even know who this lady is. You feel me? And I'm like, you know what? She's feeling anxious. She feels, you know what I'm saying, undervalued, or, you know what I'm saying, she might feel threatened, like maybe, you know, I'm going to put her in the past, or you give me things like that. There's a lot of different layers to things, and you have to be empathetic, not only of other people though, but also yourself, and setting firm boundaries and making sure you don't allow people to step over you, because that also plays into it with the family dynamics. Like, if people step over you and they tell you who you're supposed to be, that's going to cause problems within yourself. And you start, like I said, compartmentalizing yourself. And when you're with your family, you this person, but when you're with your friends, you this person. And when you're with your lover, you this person. And it causes a lot of issues because you're not really dealing with anything. You're separating your awareness of your reality.
You have to be authentic in order to get through anything. You have to be authentic with yourself first. And then the other thing I want to speak to, what they don't tell you about healing from things, healing is not linear. You one day you gonna be all right, the next day you're not, but they don't tell you how to cope with that, and then you go off into finding other things to deal with it. There are healthy ways to deal with, you know, trauma, but most of us don't know healthy ways. We resort to weed, food, overindulging. One of the 7 deadly sins, we indulge into one of those. Not to go, you know, spiritual, but you know, that's one of the things that we do. But that's all I wanted to add.
I wanted to just chime in. I think what Brother Sanchez was touching on when he was saying that a lot of people's problems stem from not having passion. It's something, it's like a cognitive behavioral form of therapy called reality therapy. And I'm going to be getting some myself, but it's more so based on just like setting goals and action oriented, and not focusing so much on the past, because the past is not really, there's nothing we can really do about it. So all we have is a present moment, and what our future selves, or what we can imagine our future selves will look like. And that's all up to us. So I think that's more, it's better than the Freudian or any other type of way of psychotherapy. It's like, it's reality based. It's just like dealing and taking what you can do and taking life into your own hands, instead of self-medicating and these things that we do that are detrimental.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I think that right now I'm learning how to, just kind of accept some things as they are and not expect every thing to reflect how I would do it if I was in that position. You feel me? So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um a passion is also like uh it's just something that kind of motivates you to want to wake up and shit. But the thing is this, what I'm gonna say to the whole, a lot of people that ain't, let me see, how can I put this? If you look at the average motherfucker in the hood, they are highly influenced by their peers around them, the outside world and shit like that. Because of that, ain't a lot of individuality. Ain't a lot of people trying to be who they really are and unique or whatever. Everybody just trying to go with the trend. We ban who TV tell us to be and who outside tell us to be. Now the difference to that would be to mature into the person that you really are from the inside out. But what we do is we are inspired by the outside world and we incorporate that into our fucking hearts and try to become what we see. I'm just saying the average person, right? Growing up in the hood and shit like that. So I think the identity crisis is deeper than just black people not knowing what our race is. It's as deep as what I just said was the average person, period, don't even know who the fuck they are. And that leads to psychological effects too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you people say be unapologetically this, be unapologetically that, but be unapologetically yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then as soon as somebody critique you on a trait that you got that you are comfortable with, you happy with that trait about yourself, you would alter kind of who the hell you are for the outside world. Then yeah, that's compromise. That's kind of like what I'm saying in a nutshell, man. I think a lot of motherfuckers suffer from identity crisis. Average nigga man out there really they scared to be who the fuck they are. A nigga look at the rappers and shit and see big chains, fashion, all that. That ain't you, dog. It can become you, and it might become you through another avenue other than rap. You might fuck around and be into a whole nother industry than rap. But see, why do a lot of black folks be rappers and shit? Basketball players, football players. Why them the first things we go to? Every nigga wanna, be a rapper and shit early in his life. That's what I'm telling you. We say we wanna be what TV tell us to be at that time and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody wanna do podcasting and shit. But nah, I'm just saying, who do we really, who the fuck we really are, man? That's all I'm saying. Cause look, who wanted to be the man to create a search engine before search engines existed? Some dude said, hey man, it's this thing called a search engine. I got an idea for it. Boom. And that was the first Bing, Google, whatever the fuck. But that's what I'm saying, original thoughts. Well, that ain't really, like I said, ain't nothing new under the sun, but y'all know what I'm saying though. But yeah, that shit deep, man. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up at 4:00. It's 3:00 now. Salutes to everybody in the chat room.
Yeah, this is a good bill, man. This is pretty good. Good session.
Yeah, man. I got that Umar video that's gonna upload at 4. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here for that one, dude. I had to edit the white dude out. He got on there saying some racial shit, but we ain't gonna repeat it,
Oh shit! Damn. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
hey, but Sanchez, I kind of want to go a little deeper on the power of manifestation versus, or I don't know if it's the same thing as um, speaking things into existence, or what is it called? Dang, I forgot the word for it. Somebody else just said it not too long ago.
Fruition.
But you know, yeah,
Coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
versus the power of manifestation. Like if you speak things versus thinking things, you know what I mean? Like, have y'all ever thought about somebody and then they called you versus
Yeah.
speaking about somebody and then they called you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. That's true, man.
Yes.
But when you say that thinking is speaking, because it's just
It's
like
another form of it.
right. Because if I
Thoughts are
think a
It's
thought in my
manifest.
head,
communication.
I hear the word at the same time. Like whatever thought I think in my head, I can hear the word in my mind, even without you know what I'm saying, a voice being spoken. Or like if it's like how they say it ain't no light in your brain, but if I think of a well lit room, that's what I envision.
Is it like thoughts are electric, feelings are magnetic? Is that the same?
Yes, sir.
That's why that's why we could think of somebody. I do it all the time. That's why I kind of stay in the house, because I be thinking of some people that I really don't want to see sometimes. But yeah, that does happen. We bring things that goes back to the thing of we bring things to ourselves.
Right. So if a motherfucker could do that on a just a like a that's like a reflex that people do. They don't even know that they doing. Like if you just think about a person and they call you, or you know they pop up at your house, right? So it worked the inverse. If you thinking about fucked up shit, like I was saying, the complaint, like that, it's just gonna keep compounding itself. You know, like whatever, like you will bring it to yourself. You know what I mean? Like I'd have been out places like if it's a girl I like in high school and I done went like we going to the bowling alley or something, I done manifested her there before. I know like I didn't will like, man, I know she finna be there. Like I'm hoping like it's on it like, but I make that happen. Like, yep, she here. Yep, it's my time to shoot my shot or whatever, like on a tiny level. So I know on another inverse level, I done did it to myself on some negative shit, just thinking about, man, this ain't finna happen or man, we finna lose this game. But you know what I'm saying?
Right. That just like me with my Buffalo Bills. Because we talk so much negative, but at the same time, we'd be like, nah, speak positive. To send your positive energy to the Buffalo Bills, and we gonna be winning these games. And luckily, they, you know, I mean, kind of like they've been listening, you know, because like we
Right.
don't won like 8 straight already.
Now, see, now if you think about stuff like that, like if
Nah,
the power of
man, that shit ain't
manifestation is
working. That's
real,
that's like prayer,
yeah.
bro. That's like
See,
prayer, man.
No,
That's
it's
not.
not. That ain't look like
Yeah,
prayer,
man,
dude.
bro. That's
It's
like
just
motherfucker
the
just got right
positive
at
energy,
me.
man. Come
hold up, man,
on,
hold up.
man.
He sent positive energy to the Buffalo Bills, and they start winning. People been sending money and positive energy to Africa, and they just losing like a motherfucker. The kids starving.
Man,
So
how
like
long
that,
we been
but
waiting
now
for the best to
that
get the
go
shit?
back. Look,
Come on, man.
that go back to when them niggas score touchdowns and go to thanking God, and I be like, God around here helping niggas get across the goal line, but ain't stopping homelessness.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And
It's
Sanchez,
on the
on God,
individual
I
level, man.
always that's actually a concept of I think it's Jupiter's like characteristics. It's luck and expansion, but also luck has to do with luck also has to do with structures that you didn't create. You know what I'm saying? But you still might benefit from
Nah,
the privileges of.
I got smoke for y'all because I think if you speaking out against something and that's your passion, right? Like some person may be speaking out against white supremacy, right?
Right.
Them always thinking about white supremacy and speaking about it ain't perpetuating it. If they didn't niggas didn't say nothing about white supremacy when the Klan put up and all these folks put, we weren't talking or thinking about these folks. So what I'm saying is, I even though what you saying may be true to a degree, you ain't hit that degree yet. Y'all ain't hit that degree yet.
I think
Now,
what
now, now
because
look,
if you
now,
applying it, okay.
well, look, here go the degree right here. If you make up in your heart that you can't win, you're a loser. I think that's different than you waking up every day being a revolutionary, calling out the injustices in the world and revolting against them. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's definitely different. That's why I say like it's an individual level. Like you trying to manifest the destruction of white supremacy has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Manifestation or whatever, you know, good energy, bad energy is a thing that's dealing with you. So if you like a better thing would say, you know what I'm saying? If you speak to every day, I'm finna bump into somebody that's a white supremacist and whoop their ass, you can keep that type of energy. But you know what I'm saying? But right, but you might manifest that shit like every time you go out, you might go to a bar or something and run across a crazy racist white dude, and yep, here go my opportunity to show out. So it's like, but
you know what it be? Here's what it be. Here's what it be. And I'm gonna speak to that thought. A person that's a black supremacist ain't gotta do all that, and they ain't really looking for a fight. Let me give you a bad example, right? If they won't smoke with a white supremacist, they go live. They say a bunch of black power stuff that they know gonna piss the white supremacists off. They open up the call lines, and just like I see, you'll see like young Pharaoh debating white supremacists and rabbis. You'll see like Tommy had the head of the Klan on his show or something like that, one of the Klan. These folks are come. It's not, the smoke ain't really where they doing it physically. It's just really the only, that's what the revolutionaries is. But that's what I'm saying. A person may say, look, man, you're a black supremacist. You get up every day to debate these white supremacists. Are you help perpetuate white supremacy doing that?
well, in a way, yeah, because that's a way I get to debate black supremacy or whatever I'm debating. So that's what's fueling my fire. It's yin and a yang. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, when Batman said you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Like what? Like what's the end?
So I got a globe Earth and flat Earth debate coming up on Wednesday. Am I helping to perpetuate the globe?
No, you not helping perpetuate the globe, but the person you gonna debate with is gonna help perpetuate the globe. So it's gonna help the globe be perpetuated.
Not if I listen, not if I do a good job and win the debate.
But not if you do a good job and win the debate. That's still based on the perception of the people, because you know it's still gonna be some people that's just like how they believe.
That's what I know. That's why I'm doing a debate. Cause so far when I do them, I reach a huge percentage of globe birthers that change their perception of reality and say to me, man, I ain't necessarily a flat earther, but I saw the debate and you making me think about the globe. Though, let me ask you this real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's a win for us because look, I'm gonna show you something. It ain't a win for them because we all know the globe. None of us knew the flat earth, and the globalists trying to hide that. So the only person that can win in that is me, because I'm exposing people to something new. They can't expose nobody than that new with the globe though.
No, but I'm saying this, Sanchez, as far as me agreeing with the ideology of the flat earth, I'm agreeing with you that it's a win. But I'm saying just as far as for like us having this conversation now, as far as like perpetuating something, if the question was asked on the inverse, you would have to agree. If we was the opposite people and I was asking you, hey man, you debating the flat earth to Sanchez and you a globe earther, don't you think that's perpetuating flat earth?
What? Ask that again. My bad.
If this was the inverse and we were the other people talking, and I was asking you like, hey, got you.
Listen,
flat earth. You see what I'm saying?
Here's how I go. Here's how I go online. In a debate league, if you're debating a person and you get the best of them, your message got perpetuated over theirs. right? So when you, for example, when I was in high school, there was all kind of recruiters trying to get to me. You had Army, Navy, Coast Guard, all of them got their game. But the Air Force game was so motherfucking fire. Nigga, the Air Force game was so fire. Even though I liked the Marines uniform and I really wanted to go be a Marine just for the uniform, the Air Force lifestyle was 5-star, buddy. I just fucking, hey. But the thing is this. Right. So look, my thing is like, you know, we gotta take that shit into consideration that, like, yeah, you got to go out there and sell it. But get back to the original point, though, Bobby. The original point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the original point is basically that we can't undermine the fact that planning, hard work, and all that is what it is. I do believe in, if you keep speaking something, it can come in fruition. But I wish a nigga get up every day and say I'm a millionaire and see if he get the money. Because guess what? I know niggas that did that. I'm literally one of them. Where you rap this shit in your raps. You know you ain't got no millions. But every nigga got $1 million line though. You know, or a Rolex line.
Look at it like that's
either
words of motivation, right? Like I like a lot of us didn't play organized sports. I played basketball. I wasn't on the football team, but I was on the basketball team. So it's kind of like, if we in the game and it's the fourth quarter, we down by 10, I don't need no niggas on the court complaining, man, you ain't setting the pick right. You ain't not, like, I need all motivation at this point. Hey, good shot. Set a hard pick. Motherfuckers calling out the D, because anybody that's like giving off negative energy is gonna fuck up the chemistry, the algorithm, like just how the whole, like, that's a real thing. Chemistry is a real thing, you know, and we talk about it in sports all the time. Like, you can look at two people and say they better, but these other two people, they just got
a
chemistry
question
with each other. Right.
I got a question, Bobby. How does military drill sergeants create a soldier in 9 weeks just by complaining to them? And not only do they complain, they yell their complaints at the top of their lungs. Oh, they ain't got no problem walking up in that dorm complaining and showing you everything wrong, even when you think everything right. Listen, watch this. Thank you. Because guess what? I was just at a football game yesterday, and when the team wasn't playing right, the coach, goddamn it, started yelling at them and complaining and telling them. And guess what? The coach will even tell a team at halftime, okay, guys, tell me what the fuck is going wrong. And soon as he say that, niggas will be like, he's not blocking, he's not doing this. And it's okay to say these complaints. Now we know what we need to work on. But guess what? The team got to be a team that's tough and able to make these complaints to each other and let each other know their needs without being butthurt about it. This is what I was saying about corporations having that complaint system in play. They ain't saying, don't complain to us, man, just take this shit. They want to know, was your fries cold? How can we do for better service? Put your complaints right here.
And what about also, like, because what Bobby was saying, to add on to his point, sometimes you have to do what they call a constructive criticism about your game, you know, to make you better. Do you agree with that?
No, definitely. No, I'm not. When I, like, the way y'all putting it about complaining, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. You know what I'm saying?
We look at it wrong, right? See, because you got these two words, and one is complaint, one is compliment. Now everybody want the compliment, nobody want the complaint, but that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm agreeing with the complaint. I think with the way you put it earlier is that what I'm saying is complaining. So I guess a complaint and complaining is like two different things to me. Like, complaining to me is like ongoing. You know what I mean? Like, the problem got to be fixed. It's almost like a motherfucker complaining about the dishes, and it's like, well, nigga, you could have washed them yourself. Like, don't make it a complaint. But then it's like, if you go keep complaining about it, fix the problem. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's like, You got legitimate complaints and illegitimate complaints. For the dishes,
Right.
for the dishes example, if a person saying, "Look here, man, I'm the only one washing these motherfuckers," then
There you go.
then that's a good complaint. He got the right to make that complaint. If
That's a
black
fact.
folks say we the only ones built this country, but goddamn it, we get the butt of the stick every time. You folks can say, well, that's a legitimate complaint, you know.
Fact.
So what I'm saying is, you have illegitimate complaints and legitimate complaints. I think they got us just attacking complaints, period. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I ain't attacking complaints. I think I'm attacking complaining because I feel like, and this just me. I feel like ain't nothing shit. I got complaints about a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, it's like I gotta get into action. You see what I'm saying? It be times where it done been times where I done stayed with the homies and came in like, you niggas ain't watching no dick. Y'all ain't did nothing, but guess what? Bobby don't want to live in a dirty house. So that the whole time while I got that complaint, I'm cleaning up. And I might even be mad and pissed and complaining while I'm cleaning up. But when I'm done, I'm gonna feel better because it's like I get it the way that I want it. And then I have to
But look,
rectify it
guess
after
what?
that, how I gotta
You
let, whether
still
it's
complaining.
getting niggas out my house.
You still complaining, but you just cleaning while you're doing it.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
He got you on that one, yeah.
No, I ain't disagreeing. That's why I'm saying the action, like to me, is like a complaint without an action is just like
That's true though. That's
energy.
true. That
You
is
fucking
true.
up the energy, man.
Because look, if you got a person that live in a house that's complaining about the dishes, but they don't ever wash them, then yeah, everybody gonna say, nigga, if you don't shut your ass up now. I'm not gonna complain about shit that I know I don't really help with. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Now take this
You know what I'm saying?
People are complaining. I ain't been in the military, but like running basketball drills, or you like in the basic training running hikes. It's always one person or like a motherfucker that complain the whole run. Now we all didn't complain because we don't want to do this run, but it's like one person while we running that's like won't shut the fuck up, and it's like, bro, we get like I know we gotta run, but can I like I'm trying to focus on getting the run
again.
Right, trying to get done.
Guess what? You talking to a guy who was a squad leader in the military, and again, it go back to legitimate complaints and illegitimate complaints. When I was a squad leader, we had to do a drill in Texas during the rain. It was puddles everywhere. During these drills, we had to walk a few miles, then build a perimeter with the squad leader taking a knee in the middle and all of the squad laying prone in a 360 around him, watching the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 12. And we had this whole perimeter. So because of that, my whole squad was muddy and soaking wet, and I was dry, and they just kept complaining to me. Because I was like, man, come on, man, let's go. Y'all need to, keep up with these other squads gonna win. The drill sergeant gonna punish the squads that's the least behind. So you gotta be a good motivator. And complaining is part of that. You gotta let them know, come on, we behind. They might not want to hear it, but this is what your alarm clock complaining to you in the morning. It say, man, you ain't woke your ass up, you hitting the snooze. Boop again. I'm just saying right here, yo. When my squad was complaining to me, you know what I did to stop the complaints? I dove in a mud puddle. And I said, now we all wet, let's go. And they was fucking motivated like a bitch. Boy, they was like, who ya? That's what's up, boy. Now guess
that's just kind of fucked up though.
That's perfect what Sanchez just said.
Yeah. So my point was, they made a legitimate complaint to me. And I looked at myself all dry and saw them wet. And I said, yeah, we ain't a team. Let me get some mud.
See,
now check this out, Sanchez.
I think if I was a drill sergeant, I wouldn't did that shit because I already went through that already.
But
you gotta go.
It don't matter. It's what take to motivate.
It's not a drill sergeant. It's a squad leader. I was in I was in basic training. So I went in basic training. high ranking. I went in a E3 because I did ROTC in high school. So that because of that, I was able to lead my squad in basic training.
So you never did
that's
that.
what
You
I'm
never
talking
did
about right
that.
there.
You had a couple of squad. You had about what 20 squad leaders, and you was control about 10 to 12 men or something like that. They was your responsibility. They assigned that to all the A1Cs. I went in an A1C, Airman First Class.
Now, that's what I'm agreeing. I'm gonna agree with you. That complaining, I think I'm like everything to me got dual energy. So I'm as like an ego. It's a dual energy to the ego. You know how people be like the ego is bad, but it's like the ego can be used for so-called good because everything got dual energy. So I'm saying like I'm agreeing with you as far as like overall it take a complaint, but the energy that's put into it, like that's motivation versus demoralizing. Like you could have been the squad leader that got in the mud and got wet, and now you know your squad looking at you like, damn, squad leader angry and pissed off like us. He complaining about the rain and shit too, and now it's like y'all
Then
falling further behind.
then guess what Chief would have said? Good job, squad leader, and he would have made my whole squad run. He would have said, because guess what? My whole squad got back and told the chief what happened, and nigga, everybody was saying how I was the best squad leader, because guess what? All the other squad leaders showed up dry. They wanted to know why the fuck I was the only wet squad leader, and the whole squad was praising me, nigga.
There you go. That's what I mean, Sanchez. Like the fact that you did that was motivation versus demoralizing, and that's what I mean by
But hold up, but
complaint.
one thing though, our chief in the military, they use demoralization too. Like if if complaining don't work, they'll say you fucking wussy, get your weak ass out of here, get your ass out of here, bro. That's demoralizing. You a grown man getting yelled at and shit. And then guess what it does? It motivates you. Because let me show you something about the military. In a life or death situation in combat, fuck your feelings. And fuck if you don't like complaints neither. We about to die, man.
Like that
that's what I'm saying about. So that's what made me get over the fact. I developed the mentality in the military. Is he complaining about something that's righteous? That's just like with y'all. When folks used to be like, yo, you being rude, you cussing folks out, booting them off the show. I just kind of changed my shit and took the complaints in. I improved my show by considering these complaints. And I learned to do that in the military because coming up, I didn't like to hear a nigga tell me nothing complaining about me. You better compliment me. You know what I'm saying? But like that go back to what Blueface was what Fetty Wap was saying in that interview. He went broke because he had a bunch of niggas around him who wouldn't complain to him and say, look, bro, you fucking up. You doing this, you doing that. Yeah. That's all I was saying.
No, you're right. I think it's just, you're right. I can't disagree with that. It's a balance. Like it is true. Some things it take demoralization, but you don't want to break a person. And some things it do take that light hand, but you don't want to be too soft to where, you know, a motherfucker ain't on they P's and Q's. So I agree with that. The complaint both ways. You dig what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta demoralize and sometimes you gotta motivate.
I think some people are just afraid of confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Confrontation ain't always gotta be negative. It can be something positive. So once people get over that fact and stop looking at confrontations, oh man, he's confronting me and doing like he's trying to put me on blast and all that. Nah, bro, it's something that's gonna literally break you down in order to build you up.
Hey, let me say this. Hey, Blackjack said, ask Bro Sanchez about the snake pit. Let me show you about the snake pit, right? The snake pit is every day when you go up in that chow hall, and when you get up in there, you hungry than a motherfucker, boy. You done worked out your stomach cussing your ass out. And guess what? You can smell the food cooking when you out there PTing. So you can't wait to get up in that bitch, nigga, and eat. And that food be good as hell. Here go the snake pit, right, for the Air Force, right? Now, you only get 10 minutes to eat, uh, in basic training and shit. You learn to just throw that shit down and get up out of there. Man, like a drill sergeant said, he said, if you got time to taste your food, you taking too damn long. Put it down your throat and let's go. Pause, but check this out, right? The thing is this right here about that snake pit. When you walk in the goddamn cafeteria, it's a whole table of high-ranking tech sergeants, sitting right there in the chow hall. Before you can sit down at your goddamn table, you got to stand before them with your tray. It's empty. You ain't ate yet. Now your clock ticking. You already on your 10 minutes and you ain't even put food on your tray yet. It's mentally like it's a lot of stress. But check this out. You standing up there, right? They asking you questions and shit about history. You got folks looking at your uniform. And if it's taking you long to answer them questions and your uniform fucked up and all that, here you is up there with an empty tray doing push-ups and shit. You fuck around and spend 6 minutes up in that bitch doing another PT, and soon as you sit down, they tell you to get up, it's time for you to go. I didn't get your ass up, it's time for you to go. Is it when you're 10 minutes up, it's up, man. Look here, it have been, guess what we was doing in basic training? We had a system to where your homies will sneak you some Pop-Tarts, sneak your shit out the chow room, and bring it back up in the dawn like, here you go, man. Hey, bro, because that shit rough to get through, dude. It's like, this is shit is like a fucking initiation, man. Hey, and guess what? That goddamn snake pit, nigga, I'm telling you, they yelling, you got all them motherfuckers around you in every ear yelling like, what's the goddamn history of this? What's that you got to be sharp, nigga. You got to be sharp, nigga. Ain't no dead time when we standing around doing nothing. I'm looking in my book, studying and shit. At any given moment, you can get drilled. A drill sergeant can come up to you 10 hut, ask your ass questions. You don't know it, nigga. You finna be right there, push. Just, it's all kind of shit like that. So that's what the snake pit is. Like when we talk about complaining, right? In the military, nigga, they'll see a string of hair on your uniform. You can be perfect. It can be a little string of hair on your uniform, and that'll make them yell till they fucking red in the face. You look perfect, man. That one little bitty, they want that shit perfect, man. Any little thing, it's gonna have them go crazy. It's weird, bro, and they doing that on purpose to fucking get you like, you know what I'm saying? So that just show you how that tactic can be effective. But I don't think that it's effective all the time, because in the military they didn't do it all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Don't they call that like break you down to build you back up? Something like that.
Yeah, they break your ass down most definitely. They gonna fucking, nothing you doing gonna be right. And you could spend all day to get that shit perfect and shine them boots perfect, nigga. And they just gonna, it's something you could have did better, man. It is, nope, it's a piece of dust right there. Do it a fucking again, do it over. Yelling at your ass. You ready to get a compliment and you never get one.
Does that make you a better soldier?
Yeah, it does. And cause guess what? Every now and then they'll say, out fucking standing job, Airman, here go your reward. It's like that abusive relationship kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like metaphorically what the universe does to us in a way.
Yeah, every
if you
now
had a
and
life
then,
full of trauma or being born in the hood, you know, or being born this and that, nothing you do is all right until at the end, maybe on the other side when the ancestors say, good job.
But look, the thing be when the result, because you getting graded, right? Your flight getting a grade and you grade it with other flights. When the test results come back in and we won, we celebrate. But before those results, ain't none you doing right. Before them results, it's kind of like a football coach and you about to go to the Super Bowl game. And goddamn it, even though y'all making good catches and y'all having a good practice, he's saying, no, quit playing, quit smiling, let's run some more drills. And you like, coach, but we haven't had a good practice, man. We got the Super Bowl next week. Fuck that. I don't care how good. Yes, you caught every pass. Let's do it again. It ain't right. It's something wrong. It's something we can work on. We'll be like, coach complaining too much, but y'all team undefeated.
Right.
Too much flattery probably make you softer or make you too egotistical. So you got to always be working towards perfection in a way. I see that.
Hey, Bro Sanchez. I don't know. I don't know if this is changing the subject or not. But what you think about the Mar Hamlin, the symbolism of him, like the three, you know, Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions, but yet what's his name? Hines that ran back-to-back touchdowns. He hasn't done that in 3 months. Like everything was just like three, and we won
You know what?
33.
I think that's
23.
that gematria, ain't it? That's you getting into that gematria now. Hey, guess
Yeah,
what?
I think that's what
I'm
it
gonna
is.
have to get on that with you, man, because in them sports, that gematria is real. Like the sports is ran by gematria, and it's folks that's breaking that shit down on YouTube, man. But yeah, you own us.
Yeah.
I gotta get up out of here. I want to say salutes to everybody on the panel, though, man. All of y'all brothers and sisters came with very intellectual content, man, and respect for Bill. And y'all know you always welcome back to the round table. I appreciate y'all for real.
Yeah, love y'all, man. Y'all on point, man. This is a good build. I
Peace.
enjoy it. Peace
For
out.
sure. Hey, peace and much love to you guys, man. Much respect. And thank you everybody who support you know, what we do on all of these platforms. And I just want to say salutes to my Patreons. Salutes to my Cash App donators. And salutes to my PayPal people. Appreciate y'all. In 15 minutes, there's going to be an upload on this channel. If y'all want to check that out, it's a re-upload. Also, for all things Bro Sanchez, get in the video description area on any